Broadcasting live, Charles Van Morgan Unbridled News. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Beautiful American flag in whatever country you're in. Thank you for joining us. We have a lot of people from the UK, from Canada, Philippines, all over the world. If I missed your country, thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. We're getting outside the box in this crooked state of Tennessee. We're going to prosecute the judiciary. Look at this beautiful American flag that we have here. So welcome, welcome. Come on in. This is the Charles Van Morgan Show. If you are just joining us, broadcasting live from Knoxville, Tennessee. Today we're going to prosecute the prosecutors, prosecute the judiciary. We're going to execute the judiciary at the ballot box, not execution as in shock them to death. Execution as in to carry out a plan. Execution means several different things. Carry out a plan to remove them from office before they continue to violate your rights. The beautiful American flag, it's flying high today. America's standing up for the rights of Americans, safety, health, protection, and well-being of all Americans, as we are in mortal combat with a country that would seek to destroy us. Let no man fool you. But today we're talking about people that seek to destroy us here in the state of Tennessee. The Tennessee dirty, crooked judiciary. When I say that, they squeal like a pig because they don't want me saying the truth. So they hold me accountable for their actions. That's what the judiciary does. So here is the great American flag. Welcome, welcome. Come on board. And we're going to execute the judiciary by prosecuting the judiciary. And execute them, I mean, we're going to carry out a plan to shine a light on how crooked they are. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Thank you all so very much. Got a great show for you today. And we're going to, good morning, hello. Send me a email, Mr. Pretty Tangs, T-I-N-G, and we will name you as a moderator, but we got to do that ahead of time. So send me an email at charlesvanmorgan@gmail.com with your tag that you got on here, and I'll put you as a moderator, but we got to do that before. So thank you very much for offering to do that. I appreciate it, but we got to do that before the broadcast begins, and we'll do it for Monday if you want to. Put you in there as a moderator. Thank you for offering. I appreciate that. So, but we're already live now. Can't do it. So we are talking about executing the Tennessee Judiciary. I am a, albeit unlicensed attorney, unlicensed lawyer. I'm not an attorney because the state hasn't licensed me. So what I am doing for the benefit of you all is showing you how corrupt they are in this position that God has put me in by his divine will. is not to defend you in a courtroom, it's to defend you out on the street against the powerful people in government office. So I've been to their training schools. I know how their legal system is. I passed the bar exam. I know how to argue legal arguments and theories and to present a case against or for someone. And I stand on the side of righteousness and truth. I'm on your side, on the public side. I'm not bound by the dirty judiciary as if I were a licensed attorney, because if you're a licensed attorney, you can't speak the truth about their public corruption, about the evil that they're doing to Tennesseans. So God in his divine providence has blessed me, however makes me poor in as far as money goes, but rich in as far as fulfilling my purpose to prosecute the judiciary in the state of Tennessee. What I mean is broadcast live worldwide, get out of their little box in Tennessee. They control Tennessee corruptly. They do dirty to you here in Tennessee. And it's not just me, it's not a personal vendetta. It's a calling, and it's the truth. And this is my forte as a fighter, to fight the Tennessee judiciary. So in my position, I have every freedom unbridled by their public corruption, by their judiciary decisions, although they can come after me and already have, but I have withheld their public corruption, and so far, and contested them. So we are bringing a case by the law, according to legal principles in the United States of America, the legal principles that I've learned listening to the judges out of their own foul mouths. And then a lot of them are pretty foul and disgusting and wicked. If you knew them behind closed doors, and I do, then you would see how crooked they are. And I'm bringing that to light to benefit all Tennesseans, for your benefit, for your safety, health, protection, and well-being. So we are prosecuting with a professional, me, unlicensed attorney, to bring a case against the Tennessee Judiciary on your behalf, on the behalf of the populace. And we're doing that on several fronts. And we're going to talk today, continuing the dialogue from yesterday, about some specific cases, bringing evidence, telling the story how judges have violated your constitutional rights, put people in jail that I've seen with my own eyes, and lied about things, and allowed people in the government to lie under oath and use the lie to facilitate a wrong against you in a Tennessee courtroom. Tennessee judges have done that. And we're getting this outside their little crooked box of the state of Tennessee, because they control Tennessee. If you control the legal system, then you control the state. You can make people illegal, not because they're doing illegal things, but just by you adjudicate that they're illegal, that what they're doing is not correct, even though it is constitutionally. You can rule against the Constitution if you're the judge, and that's exactly what they do. And we're going to explain and show you evidence, concrete evidence of numerous cases where they do just that. We're bringing the case to the jury, which is the mass populace of the world, against the Tennessee Judiciary, and it happens in a lot of states. I've heard that the states are all crooked, but I don't know that about other states. I haven't lived there. I don't know. I can say people have told me. Now that's hearsay. But if you have public corruption in your state, I pray you Godspeed. Point that out. I can't do that for other states because I only know of a few incidences. I know Tennessee. I've lived here. I've met the judges. I know how crooked they are. I've seen them act in courtrooms against the Constitution. And I know, so I can bring those specific cases, those arguments, my evidence against the Tennessee Judiciary, and speak the truth to power and ask you to, the ultimate conclusion is to vote them out, every damn one of them. They uphold the power, and they lie, cheat, rob, and steal, and they're thugs and criminals, and they squeal like a pig when I tell you the truth. And I'll tell you what they try to do. It's a trick they tried to pull in the first place when they tried to put me in this position, and since I'm speaking out against them, they're trying to pull that same trick, but it doesn't hold water. It's got a lot of holes in it. And I'll tell you what that trick they try to pull on me, to this day they're trying to pull on me, is, let's see how many people we have in here. Thank you all for joining me. If you're just coming in, welcome to the Charles Van Morgan Show, where we are unbridled news, bringing truth to power. And we're not talking to the judiciary. They're not the power. They're the corruption. There are a few limited people that can be beat. The power is you, the mass populace in the world, in the United States specifically. We're trying to get people to the ballot box in the state of Tennessee. You're the power. I'm speaking to you. Listen to my case. Hear me out. I'm going to show you some specific cases of Tennessee corruption as we look at the moon and see how many people we got in here. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Thank you all so very much. It says double tap and smash the thumbs up on the live stream. Drop your question in the chat and stay engaged. The host on Unbridled News. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. PRETTITINGZ. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. So we got a bunch of people in there. Now, who does what I'm doing? If you don't think this channel, and you are special for watching this channel, and you are, thank you so very much. Even if you stay silent, even if you comment, thank you so very much. Who criticizes in public, in open, worldwide, judges who can rule against me, who do rule against me? Who does that with a sound mind? Somebody that believes in the truth, somebody that believes in fighting for the Constitution, somebody that believes in the protection of Almighty God. Now, they don't believe in God. If they did, then they would in fact adjudicate according to people's constitutional rights, because the Constitution isn't given to us by the state, isn't given to us by the United States. There's a Tennessee Constitution, there's a federal Constitution that gives that recognizes our constitutional right. They don't give it to us. They recognize our constitutional rights. So if the judges in Tennessee don't recognize our constitutional rights, that is irrelevant. God does. That every individual has rights inalienable that are given to him by God, is rights given to us by God, only recognized by the Tennessee and federal constitutions. So if the judges don't honor what God recognizes, and the judiciary is against God, and they so very surely damn well are. So we're on God's side, and this is a channel that you won't hear anywhere else. The boldness and the truthfulness of the accusations against the people in power in the judiciary that drive the machine that puts the party above the people, the parties above the people, and keeps these people in a self-perpetuating system in power, and smashes all attempts to smash all opposition against the Constitution, because we all have the freedom of speech, the freedom to speak out against the government, the freedom to speak and politic and say, don't vote for these judges. I have that right under the Constitution to point out inconsistencies and corruption in the government. Now, they won't let me do that. That's unconstitutional. We have soldiers right now dying in a foreign country to protect the Constitution of the United States, to protect freedom of speech. They're literally shedding their blood for our way of life in this country. Our way of life is that we have freedom to speak out against the government. That they don't in the country, in the regime, that they're fighting the regime that seeks to annihilate America, trying to build nuclear weapons in Iran. They want to annihilate America. They've been very clear about that. Debt to America, debt to Israel. They're enriching uranium, not for public use, for prosperity of the country. They're enriching uranium to build a nuclear weapon, to fire a missile at the United States, to annihilate the United States. Soldiers are fighting in Iran, maybe boots on the ground, to protect America, our civilization that is based on the Constitution. So they're shedding their blood in another country that doesn't allow freedom of speech. That regime has killed 30,000 people who have tried to speak out against it. Similarly, in America, we have a First Amendment right to speak out against the government. The judiciary in the state of Tennessee speaks highly of their own people, their own government, just like in Iran. They speak highly of their own regime. Of course they do. Keeps them in power, keeps them fed off the people's back. And keeps them fed off the people's back, but is not, and murders them if they speak out against them. Murdered 30,000 in America. In America, the Tennessee Judiciary won't allow opposition, won't allow me to speak. They have literally made an adjudication, although I've said nothing violent. I don't believe in violence. Although I have pointed out what they have done wrong, they don't want me to do that. They don't want me to tell you what I'm telling you today. The Tennessee Judiciary, these powerful people, and it's getting out of the box. If they put me in jail again, then the world knows what they're doing it for. Now, let me say up front, I don't believe any violence against the judiciary. Don't be violent against them. Don't lay a hand on them. Don't do anything violent. Don't use any gun against any judiciary. And that's in case, unless they're trying to kill you immediately, just like you have against any citizen. Quite frankly, self-defense is a God-given right, and I wouldn't put it past some of them. They have literally committed acts of violence against me, and I'll show you, I'll show you proof where I have made it well documented. Their attempts at possibly assassination of me because I'm speaking out against the judiciary. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not some YouTuber that's bringing conspiracy theories. This is real live, real time, real action in the United States of America, speaking about a corrupt judiciary that is not a lot different than a regime in Iran that seeks to destroy all opposition, that wants to self-perpetuate their own corruption. The problem is their corruption and their wrong against the mass populace, and that's the problem, is they're doing that against you, not just against me. I'm just pointing it out. They try to do that, and their big trick and their big secret, and it doesn't hold any water, there's too many holes in their bucket, is they blame me and they blame you for their wrong. Amazing, isn't it? You can go out and do anything you want to. You can go get drunk on power, drive all over the road, slam into innocent people that are on the right side of the road, driving in their lane. Innocent American citizens driving down the road. The right to travel is a fundamental right. Driving down the road in their lane, exercising their American rights under the Constitution in America that recognizes our God-given rights. Doesn't give it to us. God gave it to us. You're not taking it away unless you can overpower God, and I don't think they're going to do that. They're arrogant. They think they might. I don't believe that for 10 seconds. And we're fighting with God. They're fighting against God. Those are the battle lines. Very clearly, I'll draw them out. And you're obeying the law, and they're drunk on power. And they're all over the road. They're so drunk. They cross the yellow line, slam into you head on, and the Tennessee Judiciary blames you. How dare you be on the road and interrupt their dangerous, horrific procession, because it's a funeral they're coming to, down the road, and it is your fault that they were on the wrong side of the road and that you were simply exercising your right, your fundamental right to travel down the road. They'll blame their atrocities on you. Amazing. It is not your fault. It is not your fault the judiciary is doing what it's doing. They're blaming what they're doing on me. So, in fact, they are saying that I cannot get my law license because I'm pointing out the truthful, wrong, corruption, violation of people's constitutional rights through their own damn system. I mean, I complained through their secretive complaint system, through the Board of Judicial Conduct. Wrote the complaint, signed my name, and which is the way you're supposed to do it. Now, they can, in fact, decide that, hey, that complaint is frivolous and sanction me and maybe even sue me. You spoke out wrongfully against the judge in a complaint. The judge could technically sue me for defamation, but they can't do that because they know if I brought it in front of a jury, I would win. The judge did what I said he did and put somebody in jail unlawfully, which is what they do every day. But they are saying, although the complaint wasn't adjudicated as frivolous, and they know it wouldn't be, they use the complaint system to get my name to say that because you complained justifiably on a judge, you are delegitimizing the judicial branch of the government. So you will never pretty much get your law license because you're pointing out wrong that we have done, a very serious, horrendous wrong, putting somebody in jail that did no crime, that they can't prove, keeping them in jail. They'll do that to you too. Because I pointed that out. They're wrong. And I'll show you, this literally happened. They do it every day. They just don't do it every day to somebody that will speak out against it and tell the truth about them. And tell the truth about them trying to say that I'm delegitimizing them when I'm not delegitimizing them at all. I'm pointing out how they're delegitimizing, and they are showing the public that they're not going to adjudicate fairly. I'm pointing out the truth. If they don't want me to say bad stuff about them, quit giving me ammunition, quit doing bad stuff. But they want to continue to feed off you and to maintain power with their political party bosses. And I'll show you how they do that. The party bosses get favors, protect the corrupt judiciary, and they keep promoting the judge and the parties to keep getting elected, not to represent you, not to represent the Constitution, to represent the party bosses that get a free ride in the judicial system. They can do no wrong because the judge will say you did no wrong. But if you go into a courtroom and the judge needs a number or needs $1 in his retirement fund, they'll adjudicate you guilty when you didn't do a damn thing. And they blame me for pointing out their violation of the Constitution, saying that I'm delegitimizing the judiciary branch, that I'm defaming them, when all I'm doing is pointing out what they're doing. And that's how sinister and crooked your Tennessee Supreme Court is, your Tennessee Board of Law Examiners, your Tennessee Attorney General literally fights to keep the illegitimate, they're fighting me right now in a court of law, trying to deny me my law license so that I can use my law license to go in court to get a barred off piece of time, 5 minutes, to argue in your favor before a jury. They're trying to keep me out of that courtroom. Right now, your Attorney General is trying to stop a lawyer from defending you. That's what he's doing. He's trying to delegitimize me with illegitimate activity. Shouldn't defend people that aren't legitimate, shouldn't defend lies. Right now, the Attorney General of the state of Tennessee is defending lies for the judiciary against me. That's what he's doing. And he don't like me saying that. Well, he's got a big forum. Let him call a press conference and see how many people show up to listen to his lies. A bunch of people would. But they won't let me. They accuse me of wrong. They're trying to delegitimize me, which is not true. I save lives in the state of Tennessee. That was the first trick they do, try to immoralize and make me illegitimate when the things I were doing was perfectly legitimate. I was out saving lives in the state of Tennessee on the roadways with my own life at risk. The Attorney General of the state of Tennessee is sitting in an office well protected by armed guards, and I wouldn't hurt him anyway. Don't you hurt him. It's not that kind of war. It is a political war of information. They've got the upper hand. We're gaining on them. If you want to help us gain on them, subscribe to the channel, like and share. You won't hear this ground fight war of propaganda, of attrition and messaging, not violence, anywhere else. It's vitally important for your continued safety, health protection, and well-being. This is not hyperbole. This is not just a bunch of hot air. This is not conspiracy theory. This is your life. It's going forward into a continued corrupt judiciary that honors people in power, that continues to perpetrate itself against your will, against your constitutional rights, or a system that you need to hear me, that we can do something about peacefully. Because I damn guarantee you these people aren't peaceful. And not only could you end up in the backseat of a patrol car for something you didn't do because a rogue judge signed a warrant that should have never been signed, you might end up as me. You might end up like me, getting beat up or maybe murdered on the side of the road. Not by the reigning regime, by the Tennessee Judiciary. And I'm telling the truth. That's what they don't want you to know. I'll present to you the evidence. It's bad now, and it's not going to do anything except get worse. This is the turning point. This is the message. This is the truth. This is the reality of the seriousness of the situation. They put a target on you, and you're gone, which they have tried to do to me. They may try to assassinate me. This is 2026, March And I'm speaking against the people in power. This is a real fight. This is real as the Iranian fight. Not a fight of weapons. It's a fight of messaging, and a fight of truth, and a fight of attrition, meaning we keep going. Now, they're going to beat us down. That shows in the numbers. But we can't succumb to the mass casualties, the political casualties. This is our civil rights movement. You've heard about history. That's the past. We can learn from that. This is today, 2026, March. This is our civil rights movement. This is not a regular campaign that's going to build on the power that's already there, that demolishes the mass Tennesseans. This is a movement. This is a new movement, not the past. You've heard about the other movements. That is the past. That's gone. That's history. That benefited. Thank God for those people. This is here. This is now. This is our future. We have a democracy if we can keep it. We have a republic if we can keep it. We have voting if we can keep it. If we don't act today, as people in the civil rights movement hasn't acted, it didn't act, they wouldn't have the rights they have today. If the women's suffrage movement, had they not acted, then women may not have the right to vote today. Who knows? This is our movement right here today to fight the crooked people in power in the judiciary in the state of Tennessee. This is not a political campaign. This is not, please vote for me, I want a little bit of power so that I can be nice and sexy and I have power and I'm a power glutton. This is not about that at all. It is absolutely not. This is a movement that's bigger than the governor's office. This is a movement today to protect your rights against the Tennessee judiciary and the rogue, crooked people in power who are committing crimes, serious, horrendous crimes against you, rape, murder, thievery, and your children. And they are getting by with it by a lot of means. One of them we're hitting head on today is the crooked Tennessee judiciary. Now, they blame me, saying I'm delegitimizing and disparaging the judiciary. No, I'm not. They're disparaging their damn self. They did what they did, and it's not my fault that they did it. Now, they did the same, pulled the same trick. That's what they do. It's called politics. You know, they lie. Lie. This is politics. This is your real life, really. And you're really not going to survive this. Probably a lot of people won't if you don't stand up and act today. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's with messaging and voting. And this is real. This is our movement here right now today. The past is behind us. We can learn it from it. They picked up the torch and carried it forward. Pick up the torch today. This is our time. You have to fight. The fighting is peaceful, nonviolent, through attrition, which is persistence and determination in spite of the casualties, not physical casualties, political casualties. We've lost bad in some votes because they have tried to annihilate us and delegitimize us. This is our fight today. We need to pick up the torch, just like they did in the past, and continue the effort to protect your constitutional rights against a rogue government that's self-perpetuating and stomps on citizens. The first trick they pulled against me, that God taught me a lesson, they do it every day, is that a drunk driver, a high rate of speed not on the interstate, excessive speeding on the interstate, excessive speeding on a non-controlled access highway, which is even more dangerous. Drunk, left a party drunk. People at the party got him drunk, allowed him to get in the car, knowing that I had nothing to do with his drunken party. I had something to do with what I was supposed to do out on the road. And he fled, not from me, from you, from an enforcement officers, from me in official capacity. I have never chased down a drunk since I've lost my job. That's not my job. I'm not in official capacity. I was acting on your behalf to protect you by someone similar to the road judges all over the road who was a danger to you. And they blame that man's wrong against you on me. And that's what they're doing now. They're blaming their wrong. They'll blame their wrong, their injustices, their atrocities against humanity, against Tennesseans, on us. Pretty good trick. It don't hold no water. The truth has weight and value. And so that's what they're trying to do now, because I'm pointing out the atrocities against the government, against people in government power. Specifically today, we're going to give you facts and evidence, show you some very alarming things about the Tennessee Judiciary, how they violate the truth, under oath commit crimes, allow other people to commit crimes. Rigged system, rigged judges put into place. We'll talk to you about Captain Major Terrell Johnson, how these people get promoted for lying and for committing crimes. Sounds like Iran, doesn't it? The more people you destroy, the higher up you go in their rogue system of lack of government and governance by the people. So like, share, comment, and we're going to show you verbatim how they lied in front of a hand-picked judge that not even sanctioned him for his perjury under oath. Perjury is lying under oath. That added to his perjury, added false statements. A judge that added false statements. You walk in a Tennessee courtroom, if they put a number on your back, and they may very well do that with you trying to get along with them, then your history, you're gone. There is no rule of law for the most part in the state of Tennessee. It's a crooked, corrupt judicial system that we have to fight. We have to pick up the banner as our forefathers did, the women's suffrage movement, the civil rights movement. Pick up the banner today, or we may lose our governance, our government by the people, for the people. This is that serious. It's not a political campaign. It is a truth campaign, getting out the facts, fighting for your rights. You shouldn't have to have a brother, cousin, sister, aunt in the government to have your rights honored, the ones God gave you. So we're fighting on God's side. They're in a losing battle, and they're gonna go down, and we're gonna beat them down. And similar to a biblical principle that will hold the test of time, that when someone digs a ditch, that for you, and they've dug a trap for me, and they're digging a ditch, a trap for you, and they want you to fall in their trap. And the trap, they're digging it deep. And the trap is, they don't want you to have constitutional rights. That all the atrocities and wrong that they're responsible for, they want to blame it on you. You're responsible for their wrongs. Don't point it out, shut up, go on, do what you're told, and keep us in power, and feed us with your tax money so that we can be gluttons and do whatever the hell we want to do. And if you get old or handicapped, or you stand up against our power, or we simply need you for whatever reason to demise you, to destroy you for our own benefit, then we will do just that. And we're powerful, and we don't abide by the truth. We don't follow God's will. We show it in every day by the corruption. Then we'll put you in this ditch. That's what ditch we're digging for you. A biblical principle that I subscribe to is the principle that the psalmist prayed, that they will fall in the ditch that they dug for you. So while they're digging, and they're digging right now, they're digging a ditch for me, trying to demoralize me, taking a living away from me, while I was out protecting you, trying to say that I'm responsible for somebody else's endangering you. that I did something wrong, which I absolutely didn't. They're blaming me for the mistakes of other people, and they're blaming me for the corruption of the judiciary. And I don't. That's not my rule book. My rule book is the Constitution and my God-given rights, and I'm going forward in that. I won't be afraid of 10,000 people, 10,000 armies that stand up against me, and you shouldn't be either. And this is a time of war. It speaks in the Bible. There's a time of peace and a time of war. This is a time of war. Now, not a war of violence in America. It's a time of attrition. It means don't keep the score. Fight hard every day. We're winning. Their scoreboard says they're winning. They post their false scoreboard every day. They're not winning. They're violating your rights. They're on the way down. Don't listen to the propaganda. It's meant to demoralize you, to keep you from fighting. We are winning. We're advancing the cause every day by the thousands. We're winning this fight for you. It's not for me. I'm just the front man. I'm just David. I'm throwing the rock. And they're going down. It's a fight of attrition, keeping at it, and a fight of messaging, and a fight of voting. The message is the government is corrupt. Vote them out. Vote every damn one of them out, and vote yourself in with my name on the tag, because I'm driving your way. I'm not driving their way. So they're digging a ditch, a huge ditch for me right now. And I'm cheering them on. Good. You know why? Cheer them on while they're digging all this corruption against me. That's not true. That's false. While they're pointing out all their inaccuracies, all their corruption, they're digging that ditch, pointing out, and trying to blame it on me, because they're trying to put me in that ditch. They're trying to blame me for their wrong, and cheer them on while they're doing that. While they're digging that ditch, the trap for you, cheer them on. Yes, keep them digging. Keep them digging. They're digging the ditch. We ain't even gotta dig the ditch. We ain't got to dig the trap. Let them dig it. Dig it deep. Cheer them on. Yes. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep trying to demoralize the citizens of the state of Tennessee. Keep trying to demoralize Charles Van Morgan. Keep digging that ditch. Dig it real deep. Cheer them on. That's what I'm doing. Cheer them on. Go ahead. Because the biblical principle that God that made the world, and this is real. This is not religious speech. This is not a fantasy. This is not a pipe dream. This is real. It's from the Holy Scriptures, a principle that is a God-given principle. God made the earth and the world. He put things together, organized it. He gave us a little indication of the organization when he talks about how right wins. And it does. It does. And the biblical principle of God making everything good. Now, we're in a fallen state, but God still made everything good. And he taught a very important principle that you can rely on by faith. You can't see it sometimes, but if you're doing right, keep doing it. Let the pig squeal and let the judiciary squeal. Keep doing it. I am bringing my case against the Tennessee judiciary. Now they're saying, oh, how horrible he is. He's delegitimizing the judiciary. He's calling them thugs. Well, they are. If you're a thug, I won't call you a thug if you stop being a thug. So let's get across the road here. We got several on here. So you don't stop me from calling you a thug because you say I'm delegitimizing you. Quit being a thug. And then I'll say, well, they corrected that, but they're not willing to do that. So they're digging a ditch. They think it's for me. They think the ditch is for me. A scriptural principle. God that made the world says that the evil, the wicked, the judiciary, the thugs, that they've squealed when I call them that. When I said the judiciary is thugs, I posted on Facebook, they wrote that out in a ruling that they wouldn't give me my law license because I pointed out the truth, because I made a legitimate complaint through their procedure. So they're squealing, oink, oink, they're squealing like a pig because I'm damaging them. I'm speaking the truth. And they're saying, if you do that, we'll punish you. We'll punish you harshly. And I'm saying to them, No, keep digging the ditch. Keep digging it, because I'm not going in that ditch. And that's a biblical principle, that the ditch they dig for us, all mass Tennesseans, they're digging it for themselves. They're going to go in that ditch. We want them to dig that ditch deep if that's what they want to do, try to make a trap for us. It's poetic justice. Dig that ditch. Judiciary, dig that ditch, Board of Law Examiners. Dig that ditch, Tennessee Attorney General. Keep doing your wrong and try to blame me for your wrong. Fight an attorney for the people with the people's money, and then blame that on me because I'm trying to fight for their constitutional God-given rights. You didn't give them a God-given rights by the Constitution. You're simply recognize that right now. You're stomping on it. Stomping on the blood of soldiers that fought for your right to speak out against the government. You can't do that in Tennessee. They won't let you. They're digging a ditch, blaming their wrong on me. Biblical principle. Look it up. I trust it. The words of God are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of fire, purified 7 times, the perfect number. You can count on it. Now, can you see it? No, you have to believe a lot of things by faith. I believe the God that created the whole world. I don't believe the Tennessee Judiciary. I believe they don't believe that the Bible's a holy, inspired word of God, that there's a God out there that brings justice and says, woe to those who make unrighteous decrees and do wrong, and that's what they're doing. And I'm simply pointing it out. If you like the message, subscribe. Help me continue this message. Now, the ditch that they dig, the Holy Scriptures, the Word of God teaches, and this is what they're doing, they're going, says that they will fall into their own ditch that they dug for us. So they're digging it deep. They've dug it real deep for me, trying to say that I'm not honest, that I'm a liar, that I'm not a good person, I'll let somebody burn to death. All these lies, they're lies. They're digging that ditch while they're responsible for all that. They don't care about human life. They let people burn to death by the hundreds in what they did and perpetuating their lie. And the Holy Scriptures teach, and there's more, and by faith we go, and there's more, and by, we can see some things too. Welcome, welcome, come aboard, Charles Van Morgan Show. You see the sign? And there is more. Wow, and there is more. So there's a lot more. So they'll fall in the ditch that they dug for me, trying to blame me for their wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. It's a lie. It's false propaganda what they're saying about me. Every word of it. And I can prove it. Even in a secular world, in anybody's courtroom, I can prove that they lied on me and they caused thousands of people to get dead. That's a lie, what they're saying. And they're blaming me for letting thousands of people get dead. I can prove it in a secular courtroom. I don't need the Bible's message. But yeah, Van, keep going. Don't worry about it. That ditch they're digging for you, they're going in it. Keep digging, cheer them on. Yeah, because they're digging. You don't even have to dig the ditch. You don't even have to dig the trap. They're making their own trap. Isn't that hilarious? I mean, they don't have to dig the ditch. They can cover it up and deal with you in a fair, deal with the civilization, Americans, Tennesseans, in a fair, appropriate manner, judicially, according to our God-given constitutional rights. They choose to think like the Iranian regime, that we're above the law and we can kill all of your constitutional rights, and they don't care if you die. They seriously don't. I've met these people. Their conscience is seared. They're deacons in churches. Some of them. Now, churches aren't bad, but some of the people use the church to put out the propaganda that they're good people. But they're not. So they're digging a ditch. Let's cheer them on. Right now is the time to cheer them on. Because we need a deep ditch so they'll never come out of the ditch that they're digging for us, me and you. And the Holy Scriptures teach right will prevail, that the ditch, the trap that they made, they'll fall into it themselves. That's why we want them to keep digging. And, they have a free choice. They have a free choice. They ain't got to dig that ditch that they're planning for you, that they're going in. That's a biblical principle. That right will prevail. that they are trying to persecute you with a ditch of falseness and digging it deep. Cheer them on. Don't stop them in their perpetration of their lies. Let them lie. Let them dig. We can rest right now. Cheer them on. You might want to clap a little bit. Tennessee Judiciary, clap. They're digging their falsehood, saying this is your fault. We're going to put you in this ditch. They're digging that ditch. Cheer them on right now. They're kind of hilarious, aren't they? The biblical principle is they're going in that ditch that they dug for me, blaming me and you for their atrocities. They're going in that ditch. I believe that. I'm not a fake Christian that campaigns in a church and says that I'm going to uncover and correct injustices wherever I find it, and then go on to promote more injustice, which is what the sitting governor did. And he knows. I've told him, hey, this is what's wrong. This is what you've done. Correct it. It's causing Tennesseans to get killed. Do something about it, Governor. That's what you said. But what he said and what's the truth is a lie. He doesn't do what he said. He's a liar. He's a Christian, maybe a self-proclaimed Christian and a liar. That's the truth. Look what he's done. Starving little children, better than a millstone hanged about his neck. It's what I read. He ought to be very careful when he violates a biblical principle. But he's not very careful, so he doesn't fear man. He fears man. He doesn't fear God. He fears his boss, Bill Haslam, the billionaire. He fears the dollar. I fear God. God loves you, and he loves people. He loves civilization. He loves man. For God so loved the world. He's not talking about the planet. He's talking about you. God loves you. I have fear of God, who said that they're digging a ditch, and they're going to end up in the ditch that they dug. Cheer them on. Good job. But don't tell him good job, but say, keep digging, Billy. Keep lying. Keep perpetrating falsehood. Keep sticking your nose up Bill Has-Been's hind end, quite frankly. That might ought to be edited for children. But he fears man. I don't fear man. I don't fear Mr. Haslam. He's a thug. He's a creep. He's a criminal. He's got a school over here. Haslam School of how to rip people off, step over bodies to make a buck. I'd never do that. That's what these people in power are doing to you. That's the truth. Am I in a Iranian regime where I can't speak out against these people that have lifted themselves up, put themselves in power over you, that need somebody to say, wait a minute now. What you're saying is not true. This is why I believe that. Even if you don't believe me, shouldn't I have a right to say that? Or is he better than all of us? He thinks he is. I'll show you how he thinks he's better than you. He's not. He's not, and I'm not afraid to say it. You won't hear any other candidate running on a message of truth, any other news, unbridled, running on a message of truth, not my truth, truth for you, for the populace of people. I'm not running on the power mongers' authority. I'm going to put the power mongers, if I ever get power, in jail. That's the reason why they tried to demoralize me, because they're demoralized. They've demoralized their damn crooked, nasty, stinky self. If I could put it any plainer about my position about people in government power, and they're stepping on your constitutional rights. I'm running on the hopes that Tennesseans will rise up in this new movement and vote for a government that serves you and not the rich power mongers that are buying lies, digging a ditch for me, trying to put me and you in that ditch. And the scriptural principle is, and I believe it will come to fruition, they're going in that ditch that they dig. So let them dig it deep. They've dug pretty deep. They've been digging for years. Good, thank you. I'm not going in that ditch. I haven't even had to dig it. They've done it for me. Wow, isn't that interesting how foolish they are? How foolish the Tennessee Judiciary is to think that they're going to build a house of cards and then blame me for knocking it down. You know, build your house on a truthful foundation, Tennessee Judiciary. Don't blame me for pointing out how corrupt and crooked you are, how you've lived off high on the hog while Tennesseans have starved and suffered, voting for people in government power and promoting people in government power simply because they gave you a job to lie for them. And we're getting to the bridge. I'm going to present the evidence of how they're doing that. So let's get across the road here, and I got some documents. Let's show you court papers, even in a secular society, that would win. So, So we'll show you the beautiful view. We're going to show you the evidence in a secular society. Now, they trained me in their law schools to be an attorney, be a lawyer, but they deny me while they're committing crimes of dishonesty, saying I'm not honest. And we'll show you that. But in God's providence, he wants me to prosecute them. And they've trained me how to do it. Thank you very much. Even a secular education, I know what I'm doing, know exactly what I'm doing. And they try to say a lot of bad stuff about me. The fact remains, I've got documents that say I know what I'm talking about. They're secular documents. They can't even say I don't know what I'm talking about. I've got degrees where they certified that I have this advanced level of knowledge in their schools in sociology. I know about power structures. I studied them in the classroom. More than that, I lived them. Y'all have lived this crooked power structure. How do you think people in the government are doing? You think I need to be nice to them? Maybe I ought to play up to them to continue to get in their good graces so that I can promote them and step on you? I'd never do that. I'm not doing that. I didn't do that when I was on the road, risking my life for public safety. I'm not doing it now. I'm not afraid of them. Let me give you a little clue. They're afraid of me. That's why they're setting a trap for me. They're afraid of you. That's why they're lying to you, trying to put you in a ditch. Let's look at the beautiful view. Hold on with me. And I'm not begging anybody. If you don't want to listen, don't. But I got some real good stuff to show you, documents in a secular courtroom that I could win. And this is a court of public opinion. Stand by. You won't hear this anywhere else. Unbridled news, putting my own self in danger, praying God protects me, and I pray for every one of y'all for your safety, protection, wealth, preservation for you and your families. All the mass populace, 8 million Tennesseans, the millions and millions of Americans, and the millions and millions of people throughout the world. I'm on your side. They're not. They're digging a ditch for me and you. And we'll finish the story about the ditch. Something that you might want to hear if you like this. You won't hear anywhere else. Then subscribe to the channel. Contribute if you can. Help the movement. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. So here's a beautiful view. Hang on with me. At the end of the bridge, we'll set up shop in our public forum with a beautiful view behind us. And send a message, a powerful message that's designed to symbolically bomb, not Iran, these government institutions, symbolically with truth, asking you to vote with messaging. And we're going to bomb some messages out there that'll blow them to hell, annihilate them. And then we'll tell you about the ditch digging they're doing for us, what we intend to do. So hang on with me if you want to hear our little enemy's secrets. And it doesn't matter. It's God's providence. We're going to win, I believe. So thank you, thank you. There's the crooked Tennessee courthouse, the beautiful view. There's the federal courthouse we got a case in right now. So enjoy the beautiful view. And like and share. We got 51 likes, thank goodness. We got half of 100 in the house. That sounds better than saying 50. And at the end of the bridge, we're going to get out our documents that quote what people said under oath in a courtroom. And then we're going to show you evidence, proof positive that it's a lie. So government officials lied under oath. They lie every day. And the judge will not sanction them for perjury, even though it's pointed out in the courtroom. He will punish you for defending yourself. It's the Tennessee courtroom under the Tennessee Judiciary, backed up by the Tennessee Supreme Court. You see the wrecking ball. Symbolically, that wrecking ball is Tennessee voters. That's why they fear me and they fear you, and that's why they're trying to vote us out. They fear us voting them out. We can vote them out. And they're trying to stop our votes by false messaging and propaganda. So, look at the beautiful view. We'll bring the evidence at the end of the bridge at our pulpit. They won't let me in the courtroom for 5 minutes to argue in front of a jury. So I'll argue in front of the mass populace of Tennesseans that my name's on the ballot. You got a chance to argue with me, to fight for your rights, because that's what I'll do. Does it sound like I'm fighting for the government institutions' rights? I mean, am I on their team? Hell no. Hell no, because they're not on your team. Now, if they would straighten up and fly right, I'd be on their team. I'm not a hater. I'm somebody that is for the people. They are against you. So we will fight these people justifiably, righteously, and we'll tell you about the ditch. As you look at the beautiful view, we'll get up over here and so hang on with me and watch the conclusion of the show. We got a lot more to cover. We'll show you the court documents and the facts about Tennessee corrupt judiciary. Now, there's a spiritual thing that they'll fall in the ditch they dug for you, and then there's a secular thing. There's a secular thing, beautiful sunlight, the sun coming up in the morning. And then there's a secular thing that I can prove it in their courtrooms with facts and logic, that they're crooked as a dog's hind leg in their courtrooms. So it's not just a spiritual phenomenon, although that's the most powerful. Prayer is our most powerful weapon. Pray to God through the Lord Jesus Christ, accept Him into your heart first, and then pray to God for your safety, health, protection, and well-being of fellow citizens, yourself, and your family. And pray for this movement. And that's our most powerful weapon. And pray about the ballot box. Pray about getting people to check my name, to get in power, to follow God's will, which is the will of the people. The will of the Constitution, that the people have rights. So, but there are many other weapons. That's just the most powerful. We got a huge repertoire of action against the dirty, crooked government. We're on this, trust me. This is well planned, well organized, well designed, well listened to. 2.3 million people we've exceeded in the past 6 months. Some of the leaders in the Republican Party here in Knoxville that run me down, they can run me down all they want to. They got maybe 12 people listening to them. Their podcasts are so low. They even did a show specifically for me, running me down, my name, saying when I made a public speech that they tried to stop me. In a church, they're using a church for their demonic activity. Churches are good. I'm not saying don't go to churches. Churches are about the Lord Jesus Christ. They're spreading false politics in churches, which is wrong. They'll be judged for that. The leader of the Republican Party in Tennessee, you'll be judged for your wrong, not against me, against the people in the state of Tennessee and the city of Knoxville. He did a show about me, running me down, saying, what's that about? I was very clear. Listen to the speech, what it was about. It was about standing up for a legitimate judiciary. And he backs up the judiciary because the judiciary back up him. The problem is the judiciary doesn't back up you. So I'm not on their side, even though they can get me votes. I could care less. I don't want that. I don't want to go along to get along. I don't want to be part of the corruption. I'm fighting the corruption. I'm head on against them. And you say, well, that's crazy. If you're in politics, why are you doing that for? They can get you votes. Because that is the problem. Sure, they get you votes if you back them up. And it's not crazy. There's more of you than there is, and way more. Got to look at the numbers if I can wake you up, and I'm hoping to do that. Like, share, comment. So we'll bring the evidence right here, right now, real time. The Real People's Movement. The Real People's Movement in Knoxville, Tennessee. And this is not the civil rights movement of the 1960s and 70s. That was then. That's past. We can learn from it. This is not the women's suffrage movement. That's a good thing. That was a past. You got a right to vote symbolically. This is now. Those were good movements. This is now. This is a movement I believe led by God. You make up your own mind. I have complete confidence in saying that. This is a movement, 2026. I'm not your regular political candidate. I'm not going to get on here and lie to you for votes. Everything's beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. We'll do whatever you say. That's wonderful. And try to get a lot of votes and lie to people. Not deceptive at all. I believe that there's enough Tennesseans who have a good, sane, sound mind that will vote for me, that will listen to my secular argument, my spiritual argument, to put yourself into power where we can fulfill your will, not these power elites, Republican and Democrat, crooked people that rule for themselves. And the numbers are alarming, and we'll show you that. So let's get into the evidence. And the spiritual is this. They're digging a ditch for you, a biblical principle. They will fall. They're digging a ditch, a trap for you. The ditch is symbolic of a trap. They're digging that for you. And the biblical spiritual principle is this. You can't see it, you got to take it by faith. And then we'll get into the secular, the real facts about the stuff, which I'm a Christian. I'm not hiding that. I have faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. They blow me off the planet, I'll meet the Lord. The only bad thing about that is I won't have the chance to spread the gospel in the next world among the living. I got a chance to spread it right now, which is a blessing. So I'm spreading the gospel, trusting the Lord Jesus Christ, asking to forgive you, come into your heart. That's what I believe. Don't trust in me as far as any kind of salvation you won't get nowhere. Trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. Pray. He will help you. I can spread that among the living right now. That's a blessing. If they blow me off the planet, which they might, there might be an assassination attempt against me. There's already unlawful civil and criminal action made against me that flopped that time. Maybe it won't. They might try to assassinate me. I don't know. I pray to God. I don't think that they will. Got a lot of good trouble to cause. But watch out for that. I wouldn't be surprised. God protect me, I pray. And I pray for y'all's protection. The spiritual battle is this. Satan, Lucifer, the devil, demons of hell would love to kill me. They would. They want me off the planet because I'm spreading the gospel, spreading the peace of Israel, spreading the safety and security of the United States of America. This is the spiritual. There's a secular that I'm going to bring up too. The spiritual is they're digging a ditch, a trap for all Tennesseans and me. One of the traps is that I'm responsible for the evil that they've done. That's a pretty good trick. They can do as much evil as they want to. They don't take responsibility. They say, you're responsible for our evil. Wow, I'm not responsible for any of their evil. I'm responsible for pointing it out, and I'm going to do that. In fact, when you point it out, they squeal like a pig. They say, don't do that. That bothers us. Yeah, okay. When you got them pinned and they're squealing and you're fighting the enemy, symbolically, keep making them squeal. They're squealing like a pig. So let's keep making the Tennessee Judiciary squeal like a pig. That's what they're doing, and they're a bunch of pigs. And the spiritual is the ditch they dug for you, the trap. Symbolically, the deeper they dig it, I'm just adding to a spiritual concept that is inevitable in itself. If they're digging a ditch for you that they fall in, the digger they deep it, the worse they get, the more lies they tell, the better trap that they build. If they're going to fall into it, we need to cheer them on while they're digging a ditch for themselves, while they're making a trap for themselves. And the spiritual principle is this, that what I think, and you can take this however you want to, but non-violently, not only are they digging the ditch for themselves, that spiritually, the concept they're going to fall in, we as a movement, on the ballot, Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News, are going to push them in the ditch. We're going to do God's will. He says in the Bible they'll fall in the ditch. We're going to help them fall by pushing them in that ditch that they dug for you. That we didn't have to dig, so that's spiritually, and I pray that they do. Here's some laws that they're violating, some stuff that they're violating. Constitutional violation, 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law means nothing if your outcome depends on who you know. So outcome depending on who you know in the judiciary. Now it's unspoken, it's unspoken. But if your daddy's a judge, or if your aunt, great uncle, and your bloodline is a Tennessee Supreme Court justice, or if your wife is a federal judge, you can get any Tennessee Judiciary to do anything that you want them to do. Now, it's unspoken. It's just the knowledge that, hey, Bill Goober, his wife, is a appeals court judge, appeals court federal judge. So we'll let him go into court and lie. And he did just that. He lied in court documents, lied under oath. He lied about saying that the Department of Safety didn't know if a video was released without authorization, when in fact there was a complaint, an investigation number. Why was a video released without authorization? To find out who did it, who released it without authorization. If, like he said, there was some question about who released the video, then why would they need an investigation about who released it? If they knew it was released with authorization, then why would they have an investigation to find out who released it? If someone has committed a crime and there's an investigation number, complaint, trying to find out who committed the crime, and then the department says that, well, there's some speculation that no crime was committed, that it was a lawful activity, then they should be able to explain who done the lawful activity and what the lawful activity was. For him to say that it wasn't a crime committed by someone releasing a videotape evidence unlawfully, and when in fact they had an active investigation trying to uncover who committed the crime, that'd be a lie by Bill Goober. He told a lie. How could he know he could get by with telling that lie against me and against you? These are just some subtle things that they do. Because his wife is a federal court judge. So symbolically, he doesn't have to say, my wife's a federal court judge. She'll come after you if you don't let me lie. Tell a lie to the public that's going to cost hundreds of lives. Because people know, hey, you get in federal court and they're going to demolish you. His wife's a federal judge. The bloodline, blood's thicker than the truth, isn't it? Blood's thicker than water. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So that's how he got by with that lie. That's how they get by with lies. Let me see if I can find a picture of Bill Goober. How he lied under oath in court documents, saying that they didn't know what they knew. They're putting out propaganda, false propaganda, using the courtroom, trying to demoralize us, trying to demoralize you. And they do it every day, all day. Why regular people stop trusting the courts? It's not your fault that they're crooked. They're trying to blame their crooked on you. And how this corruption filters down to every level, the chilling effect on anyone who dares to challenge power. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to send a message. If you go with the truth, just point out our lies, point out how crooked the Tennessee Judiciary is, we will punish you, we will persecute you to deter other people from pointing out the truth about what we do in order to maintain crooked power over you. And it's very crooked. It's very crooked. We're going to present you some evidence. Hold tight. We're getting to it. Charles Van Morgan, prosecuting the judiciary in the state of Tennessee. Who does that? Prosecuting them for you. In their courtrooms, you're the criminal defendant. You're the civil defendant. The judge, prosecution counsel, all your tax money behind them that can get all kinds of evidence you never heard of, and some of the bought jury that's handpicked, appointed by the judges, that's handpicked by the judiciary, and you're the criminal defendant in their courtroom. I'm defending you if they let me go in that courtroom. In my courtroom right here, under our rules, we're prosecuting the prosecutor. Don't worry, in this courtroom, subscribe. In this courtroom, you're part of the prosecution team. Your life's not on the line. Shouldn't be. It's your government. They want us to play by their rules. You want to be a criminal defendant? Keep it going the way it is, you'll be a criminal defendant. In our score, in our rules, we're not succumbing to their corrupt power. We're prosecuting them. Charles Van Morgan helped me prosecute them. Do it at the voting booth. I'm doing it right now, giving you why you should. So your life's not on the line. Tennesseans, 8 million of you, your life's not on the line with me. I'm on your team. Theirs is. The prosecutor. Attorney General. We're going to tell you how dirty he is. Trying to keep me out from defending you in the courtroom, so we'll prosecute him. In his courtroom, I'm the defendant. I'm the wrong. I'm the dirty. He's running me down and stopping me from representing you in my courtroom, which is the freedom of speech in America. He's on the line. His freedom, his job is on the line. And we're going to talk about him. And you're not in question. We're taking you off the chopping block. We're taking you off the hangman's noose where you don't get there. We're going to prosecute the prosecutors and prosecute the judge and prosecute some of the jury that are bought and paid for. How parties buy judges' political donations to judicial campaigns goes on every day. They go in a courtroom, they don't have to say, hey, I gave $10 million or $10,000 or $5,000 or $50 to your political campaign. I contributed to your financial billions, your houses and your BMWs, and you go in as a citizen, me or you, and the judge says you're guilty, but judge, no, you can't, shut up or you'll go to jail, which I've seen them do in a Tennessee courtroom. Shut up, don't defend yourself, don't want to hear the truth. That's not relevant. What's relevant to me is his dollar that he gave me. That's the truth. That's a Tennessee courtroom. I can give you facts and evidence of that. Party endorsement exchange for expected rulings. Now, when I went into a speech where I was invited, I was surprised. The enemy didn't do their investigation and find out that I was on the people's side, that I wasn't there to make friends and influence the judiciary and allow them to commit crimes against you, that I was there to point out the truth about the judiciary. And they invited me to make a speech. They thought it would be how great it was to be there, how great you are, Your Honor. Let's don't worry about you stepping on the Constitution. I want to get in power for me. And the best way to do that is to praise you. I was there to fight injustices, to do something really valuable, to help people, which I did in the past, more than anybody. So I started giving my little speech, and they interrupted me talking about the judge. That somebody that's on a judge, sitting judge right now, that, oh, you can't speak against her, they protect us. Well, by George, I will. That's the truth. Now, they tried to interrupt me, but the point was, why would they interrupt me? Are they afraid of what I had to say? Hell yeah, they're afraid. They're scared to death. They're squealing like pigs. Part of this channel, listen to the background noise of the judiciary squealing like pigs, wanting me to be afraid of them. They ought to be afraid of their damn self. Gluttons, I'm protecting them. Political donations. Party endorsement expected for expected rulings. That's why they wouldn't let me finish a sentence, a truthful sentence about the dirty judiciary. I simply told that judge, because the prosecutor's office that she is in, that said I wasn't honest, although another prosecutor's office in another city, in another county, said I was honest to testify for free, howbeit, that they thought I would go away demoralized by their lies, that I was still here, that their lies had no weight and value on me. I don't buy your lies. Tennesseans don't either. They're crooked. You don't even know. I don't even know some of the dirty stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But I know some stuff enough for a secular criminal prosecution of these people, which I'm initiating right now. And they shut me down that I was being rude. I'm rude. If truth is rude, then so be it. I wouldn't have to be rude if they would be honest, would I? Judges who owe their seat to powerful political party figures, like the Republican Party leader in Knoxville, Tennessee, the fat boy, creep, stinchy, dirtbag that did a show specifically saying, what's this about? Talking about me, how I stood up to the judge. It was very clear what it was about. I know it's clear what he's about. He's about standing up for the judiciary. There we go, got some fancy. That's standing up for him, keeping them in power, stepping on you. That's clear what he's about. And he had maybe 12 people that watched this video criticizing me. I've got 2.3 million. So I hate to tell you, your lies aren't holding weight and value. Nobody's listening to that dirty crap, that bull. They're listening to the truth. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. Thank you very much. 2.3 million people are listening to me for a substantial period of time. Hold on, we got some more. We're going to show you some lies under oath. Criminal offenses, and they get promoted for lying. The revolving door between law firms, politics, and the bench. Yeah, a lot of lawyers run for public office. Do you have any unlicensed attorneys that aren't bound by their political circus that promotes them and steps on you? What they do, Tennessee judges campaign in partisan elections for themselves, and they won't let me campaign against them. There ought to be allowed another side. They literally, when I was campaigning against them, put me in jail, locked me up. Now the charges flopped, but they wanted a mugshot. He's not a good person. Look, he's got arrested. Yeah, they're not good people. They arrested somebody that's speaking out against them. Put me in the hospital. How horrific. How many Tennessee governor candidates have ever been arrested and beat up? Not for committing a crime. There's no conviction. Ones that speak out against their little power circle that's stomping on you, and they're trying to put me in a ditch. Fellow judges campaign for each other openly. The people that turn me down in the Board of Law Examiners, that say one of the reasons they turn me down is because I said truthful stuff about the judges, so I'm not allowed to do that. But they say false stuff about judges to try to keep them in power. They're a little power-happy little family that steps on you. Dean of my law school campaigned for the Supreme Court candidate that ruled against me, that rules for him and himself. Barker, a member of my own board, actively campaigned for his fellow former justices. How about me campaign against them? I mean, what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? I'll tell you what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the truth. They adjudicate for each other against you. It's very clear. The lines are drawn. It's us, you, the mass populace of Tennessee. I'm just representing you as your attorney, authorized by you, I hope and pray, to fight against the judiciary, the people in power in the state of Tennessee. Those are the lines. They're against you. They are against you. Make no mistake. I'll show you what they do. This is considered perfectly acceptable in their world. They think that's all right. They literally, sincerely believe that it's all right, that they live happy lives, wonderful medical care, beautiful mansions, several of them, more than one, for them and their families. Their kids don't even work. They don't have to. They got your tax money. They think that's all right. Wonderful health care. Everything their heart desires. And you lay at their gate full of sores. And you got to pay them, and they breadcrumb you. Desiring to be fed from the judicial's breadcrumbs. That you bought the breadcrumbs. You bought their dinner. You bought their judicial. You own everything they got. You gave it to them. They don't deserve it. They don't work for it. They don't administer justice. That's the truth. And we're going to show you some facts, not just spiritually in their secular courtrooms, in their court of public opinion. That'll win every time. So I'll share some of my specific court experiences that I've seen. I've been in a courtroom all my life, trying to make the road safe, more than any trooper in the state of Tennessee, successfully. Documents and rulings that don't add up. Patterns across multiple cases. Names, dates, case numbers where appropriate. Tell you the truth. So, this is a case where they took my job away from me. based on a bunch of lies. This applies to you because I was out on the road lowering the fatality rate, protecting lives. I'm offering to protect lives right now, protect your life from a rogue judiciary. Unlike any other candidate that's ever ran, unlike any ever newscaster that's broadcast news, with the exception of a few, I'm printing the real news against the government for you. I've been through experiences where I have been punished wrongfully. I have been persecuted for doing right. And so I have a lived experience that is real, that is the best teacher. So they appointed a new judge because the judge that was assigned to my case had put another trooper back to work that was fired wrongfully, Marty Nix, and the judge adjudicated at the trial court level that he should go back to work. The state didn't have the evidence to take his job away from him. So that judge was over my case. And what happened is they knew that it was a constitutional judge. So they took that judge off my case and reassigned a hand-picked judge. And here's the documents. Dear counselor, please note for your records that this case has been administratively reassigned from agent's docket to mine. Why? To assist with your hearing preparations. Judge Randall LaFavor, a crooked, dirty judge. A crooked, dirty judge was reassigned because they had a judge that would adjudicate the Constitution. So even if the judges, and there's some out there that are constitutional, that rule facts and law, if they're on your case, they're in power in the government, they'll just remove that judge and put a hand-picked one, a bought dirty Judge LaFavor who lied in his courtroom. I'll show you the lies that he told. Clear lies. This is a secular. This isn't talking about the spiritual that they're falling in a ditch. They're digging a ditch. This is reality. This is prosecuting the Tennessee Judiciary. And here's the lie that he told. Here's the lie that the judge told in his ruling. You can see this. No taillights on a car. This is a judge's ruling. That's important because in the case where they took me off the roads from protecting you and caused the fatality rate to skyrocket, because I was out on the road taking people off the roads that were a danger to you. Real drunk people that were really a danger to you. And we're going to show you how the Tennessee Judiciary is dangerous to you and dangerous to me. And they might try to assassinate me. So they reassigned a new judge. The new judge was in their pocket. The new judge they knew was bought and paid for. And he was very dramatically, and he lied under oath. Excuse me, he wasn't under oath. He allowed a lie under oath that cost you your lives. And we'll show you his dirty big lie by a judge. We're prosecuting the judiciary. A judge in a courtroom is supposed to administer justice that allowed lies that not only backed up perjury, but that facilitated the lie. We'll show you documents here. So Judge Randall LaFavor, handpicked judge, took a real judge off my case. And there are some in Tennessee, not many. Took a real judge off my case. And the issue in the case was I drove past a wreck. Now this is important because this isn't personal. It's not about me. This is when I was in government service serving you out, keeping the fatality rate down. And the issue in the case was that I drove past a wreck. So, because I didn't see it as a wreck. I seen the tail end of the car that didn't look like a wreck. And they're reframing. This is what they do. They're slick tongue liars, and they got judges that frame a situation against you. You'll listen to them and think, well, that sounds perfectly legitimate, but it costs you your lives. And if you explain it in reality the way it really is, you can see the light of day. So that appointed judge, Judge Randall LaFavor, a dirty lying judge that ought to be in jail, the case was about me seeing the wreck, which I didn't see, nor should I have seen, because they're holding me responsible. Remember the trick. They hold you responsible for somebody else's actions. Now, somebody wrecked in a pursuit off the road, a drunk driver, 0.2 something in their system, alcohol and marijuana in their system. And I was in pursuit of that car because it was going 79 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone, way past the speed limit. The car chose to flee from not me, from you, from law enforcement, from your public officials that you put in power to protect you. I was acting on your behalf to protect you. It wasn't personal. I've never went after any drunk driver now. I'm not supposed to. That was my job, my responsibility. I was doing what I was supposed to do. Now they reframed that whole thing. And the car exceeded the speed limit, endangered lives, drunk driving, and ran from law enforcement. They're making his family heroes who evidently didn't tell him to abide by the law, making them heroes. See how they're flipping it around? Calling good evil and evil good. So that judge, the Judiciary in Tennessee, this is secular proof attorney. I drove past the wreck because I didn't see it. It was off the road in the dark. I had no way of controlling his car. He had complete control. He should have stopped like you did. I would. I don't like law enforcement, some of them. If they get behind me with blue lights, I stop. It's lawful. So he was lawless. He was lawless, not for me. I wasn't acting personally. I was sworn officer, duly authorized by you, appointed by down through the governor, by the Commissioner of Department of Safety, sworn to protect you, which is what I was doing. So I initiated a pursuit against a dangerous violator. He fled. I had to slow down for a red light because the light was red and I didn't want to endanger the public. So he got a pretty good lead on me. I didn't endanger anybody. And yet they flip it, blaming me for their danger. So this judge, now he's listening to this case where I'm trying to get my job back because they lie on me. They allege, now he got a big lead on me. I lost sight of him a couple times. He tops a hill. Now this is what they did to you, not me. They did this to you. Caused the streets to be more dangerous for you. So, I hope you can hear me. I'll speak up. Yeah. Better leave me alone. Public sidewalk over here. But so they the case was about a little noise maker over there, but we'll speak up. Shouldn't be too long, they'll be done. But that's what happens when you're out here in the public. He got a pretty good lead on me. Topped the hill, went through hills, I lost sight of him a little bit because I had to slow down safely to protect the public. So I wasn't doing anything I wasn't lawfully authorized to do by you. This isn't about me. to protect you, which I did. The fatality rate was lower. He was really drunk, 0.2 something marijuana. So he got a pretty good lead on me by acting lawless. Lawless. I was acting lawful in every way and everything I did. But they had a little propaganda against me because I had a supervisor mad at me. And they lied on me. Hello. So he got a pretty good lead on me because I was acting safely. And went over a few variations in the road where I lost sight and went over the top of a hill that veered to the left, and then the road forked. So he topped the hill, I lost sight of him. You can watch the video, even the camera that sees stuff that I didn't see lost sight of it. And I'm telling you, prosecuting the prosecutors, prosecuting the judge added facts that weren't there. A Tennessee judge, added facts that weren't there to get a case through a courtroom that was completely false. Honored perjury, made perjury truth. I mean, that's what they do, adjudicate. It's a lie to say that, no, that's true. And I am wrong for pointing out, for your safety, the lies that they're telling. And it's my fault that they lied. It's my fault that a drunk driver ran from law enforcement. My fault that the judiciary is more bad than that drunk driver because they've killed more people as a result of their actions. So they blame their wrong on you. Pretty good trick. Are you buying it? Pretty good trick. So they killed, a lot of people got killed, more people, 78 people the next year. So here's what the judge did. Saying I'm not credible and giving me subpoenas to testify. Wow. And I'm not just talking. I led the state in drunk driving arrest in protecting society. Obviously, when you are getting people off the road on a daily basis, more than any trooper in the state, people that's protecting them, they're drunk. I would have protected this man that was running from me. Had he stopped, had I got a hold of him, I would have put him in cuffs, put him in the back car so he couldn't hurt himself or anybody else. Nothing I was doing was unlawful. But they had a little problem with Fan because Fan was honorable serving you. And Tennessee government crimes cause hundreds to get killed. That's a fact. That's a fact. By taking this, serving you off the road, that's interesting, isn't it? With their party bosses not allowing me to speak out against the judiciary. And I'm about to tell you what, they won't let me speak out against the judiciary. Let me tell you what, Hornback or Hornbuckle or Horny Buck or whatever his damn name is, I don't know, that gets maybe 12 views, I'm helping him out. I'll speak against the damn Tennessee judiciary and a hell of a lot of people listen to me, fat boy. You ought to go crawl in the hole you crawled out of, backing up dirty liars and endangered Tennesseans. You'd think this is funny, a funny game where you get all the power and everybody else can die. Well, maybe that power that you're fighting for might kill your dumb ass and your family. It's important to get drunk people off the road, idiot. But you don't care about that. Your conscience is seared, boy. You picked a real fight that's really wrong. And your house is coming down with a wrecking ball, symbolically. So, that judge, the judiciary, they won't let me speak against them. Well, I still am. Squeal, Hornbuckle. Hornback, I'm giving him airtime. He got 12 views, so I'm really helping him out. He just doesn't even show it. 2.3 million people listen to me. And then the other liar there that says I wasn't paying attention when alleges that when he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't paying attention so much as he's all jacked up his own health. Wow, amazing. These sick people want to change the truth. The truth has weight and value. The ditch you're digging, you're going in. So the judiciary in Tennessee, they don't want me saying this. Now, the argument is over. I drove past the wreck because I didn't see it as a wreck. People have limitations in perception reaction, meaning I can't see a spot on the moon. I can't see as well at night as I can in the daytime. It's obvious. A car off the road in the dark that has left your sight, not from your actions. I didn't tell him to run. I didn't tell him to get a big lead on me. I was trying. The reason why I got a big lead, one of the reasons, because I had to be safe. I had to stop for a red light. I cared about the public. I wasn't just blind running rogue like a cowboy. I was lawfully, according to their rules, trying to arrest a drunk driver. Now, I'm telling you this because this is what they do to you every day, and they've caused hundreds to get killed because of this incident. This is why I'm here. They changed the fight. I was fighting drunk drivers safely, lawfully, trying to get him into custody for his own safety, taking him before a judge, and he had a right to attorney. He chose violence against himself and others. Fortunately, no one else was killed. But the Tennessee Judiciary brags him as a hero, and I'm the villain? No, I'm not. I was protecting your rights. I was protecting you, as I had done more than any trooper in the state, better than any trooper in the state. That's a fact. Now, they reframe it and make me responsible for what they did dirty. No other candidate's been through this. I have. No other unbridled news has been through this. I have. They reframe the truth. Make good evil and evil good. I was fighting for you. So I drove past the wreck because he wrecked. Now, he did. I didn't have any control of that car. Had I had control of that car, I would have stopped it. And he would have been in the backseat of the patrol car safely. I'm not responsible for stuff other people do. You're not responsible for what the judiciary does. You're not responsible for what other people do. They're trying to make you responsible for what other people do. If you don't believe me, you might be in the backseat of a patrol car on your way to jail for murder and then on death row, which is what this judiciary do. That's how crooked they are. That's a fact. I'm trying to protect you. God put me through this, so I know how dirty they are. And so I drove past the wreck because it was unseeable in the dark. It was off the road in the dark, under a tree that even made it darker. So I drove past it. I seen the car. I thought it was a parked car. Now, I'm not responsible for how he wrecked. Had he wanted me to see him, he should have wrecked better. Now, they act like that I lost sight of him, that he wrecked in the road, stuff everywhere, and he's in the middle of the road. They act like I pulled up to the wreck, got out and said, I better get the hell out of here. Got in my patrol car and sped off. That's what they're trying to say. That's the lie. That lights were on, and I seen it. I had to see it. There's no doubt in their mind. And the facts, this is what they do to you. When you sit in the Tennessee courtroom and they're prosecuting you, you'll say, but that's a lie. I can prove it. That doesn't matter. They got a gun there. Shut up. Accept the lie. No, hell no. Accept the lie. Vote for the Republican or Democratic candidate. Go along with the program till you end up in the backseat of a patrol car on your way for murder, find out in their courtroom, you get the death penalty, and then the judge will talk to you about how much of a dirty crook you are when he's the one being a crook, putting you on death row for something you didn't even do. Now, they didn't put me on death row, but this is how they do. This is how I know what I know. This is about your life. So I drove past the wreck. They key on that because of the action of somebody else, because it wasn't humanly possible to see, according to expert witnesses. So he's way ahead of me. He wrecks off the road in the dark under a tree. When I topped the hill, I'm looking way down the road where he was. The tree out of my stopped his momentum. So instead of it being way down the road, your perception reaction doesn't think that it'll be right there off the road underneath a dark tree. What you're thinking, what you've seen last, because the unknowable, they're expecting you to know the unknowable. The unknowable is it hit a tree and stopped its momentum. You didn't see that. You don't know that. But they want you to know the unknowable, and they use hindsight bias against you. And they say, we have no doubt. Yeah, now the man that said that is dead. Mr. Tracy Trots to the bathroom is a dead man now. He can't lie about me anymore. And it's not wrong to tell the truth about his legacy. A deacon in a church, a deacon and a liar, a dirty man. Tracy Trots to the bathroom. Wow. And everybody's praising him. He was a wonderful colonel. No, he wasn't. He was a dirty liar that's responsible for thousands of deaths on Tennessee highways. You won't hear that anywhere else. Let's praise the validity. Hell no, we won't go. How about it, Tennesseans? Stand up for the right. Is it right for a drunk driver to endanger you and a police officer and his family to be defamed because of Lionel Russell, because of the deacon Tracy Trots to the bathroom, backed up by alleged Christian governor who proclaims that we'll uncover injustice anywhere we find it, and then lies and goes on to promote the very people that did that? I mean, that's what's going on right in front of your eyes. Let me explain it to you, explicate it. I'm prosecuting the prosecutors. They're dirty thugs and liars, and they're squealing like a pig because I'm saying that. Squeal, squeal, squeal. We ain't going anywhere. Now, they might try to assassinate me. They're that wicked. They're that evil. This isn't the civil rights movement. That is good. This isn't the women's suffrage movement. That was good. This is 2026 March, the people's movement to get rid of these thugs. They're against you. They will cause you to get dead. This is vitally important. It's serious. The past is gone. We can learn from it. Let's move forward in this real movement to stop the dirty government from violating your constitutional rights. So I drove past the wreck because it was unseeable. According to their own expert witness, they used your money to hire a liar to refute their own expert witness. Wow. Bruce Siddle wrote a book, Sharpening the Warrior's Edge, talks about perception reaction and how officers can be safer. Has done in-depth research on perception reaction, what a person is capable of seeing or not. He works for them. He's a Department of Safety trainer. They use a book he wrote. He looked at that video. It's on the internet. I'll put it out there. Put the truth out there. He wrote a book, and they use his book in their training. Bruce Siddle. He is an expert through experiment, through training, through experience, and through testing, and through knowledge, through working with the FBI, and through working with scientists. And he is an expert, even according to them. They use him in their training on perception reaction. He looked at the video that I did. They use him. He's credible. And said that I did nothing wrong. Nothing in anything I did was wrong. Yeah, their own expert. So they don't like what their own expert said, so they hire, at your expense, your tax dollars, a liar to come in and lie and to proclaim that you can see better at night than you can in the daytime. That's a lie they got because they got a crooked Tennessee judge. So here's the lie that the judge told. So they handpicked a judge to adjudicate in their favor. Forget the facts. Forget the law. Forget the truth. Forget thousands of Tennesseans possibly dying, hundreds of cases dismissed. We'll blame that on him too. That's what they do. They blame their wrong on you, and they're fixing ready to do it. If you want that, let's tell you what they're doing. We'll show you. Here's what the judge did. Now, I didn't see the wreck. I saw the tail end of a car off the side of the road that I thought was a parked car. Justifiable. And I would have been, had I been lucky, had it been more visible, I shouldn't have to be lucky. That's what he did to himself. He wrecked in such a manner that that's all I could see. Now, the whole case was about the visibility of the car because they're trying to spread a lie that I seen the car, knew it was a wreck, putting that on me, putting a lie on me by a handpicked judge, and intentionally drove past it and let a young kid burn to death, in the words of Tracy Trotz to the bathroom, dirty lying defamer creep. That's dead now, deacon and a liar. Tracy Trotz to the bathroom. That said he had no doubt in his mind he knew what I saw. Wow, that's amazing. He think God put Godship on him. He's standing before God right now. That's what I think. Answering for the lie he told against me and my children and the mass Tennesseans that got killed because he took the leading trooper off the roadway, sat in a cowardly office. He's a deacon. He was a deacon, a liar, a perjurer, responsible for hundreds of deaths, thousands on Tennessee roadways, and a dirty coward. That's his legacy. Tracy Trotz to the bathroom. Yeah, and I'm allowed to say that. I can prove it. He said he had no doubt in what I seen. Can I say I have no doubt in what you see? There's no way you can say what somebody else seen and what they didn't see. I told him what I saw. So the handpicked judge said that that he knew, a judge, they know what they know because they want to incriminate you falsely. They don't know what you know, and they know the truth, and they lie about it. So I drove past the wreck, and here's what the handpicked judge said. That I seen it because there was a tail light on the car when I passed it. I was pursuing tail lights, 2 dots is what you're pursuing when you're at night trying to stop a violator. And when I passed the car, there was a tail light on. So I knew that it was that wrecked car because that's what I was following. There's a tail light there. So he added a tail light to that incident in his ruling. So he adjudicated a lie because there's no tail light on. on that card. So that's what a Tennessee judge will do. Let's prosecute the prosecutors. They will lie. They will add facts to prove a lie. Add facts that aren't there. If they need to prove a case, they need facts to prove the case. So if they don't have facts, the facts support what you say, then they'll lie and add facts. And you can't even appeal the facts because the trial court, the judge adjudicates the candidness of the witness by their persona, the things that they do, and is in a better position to tell whether or not somebody's telling the truth. So if they've got a rogue judge that's going to adjudicate a lie, it's harder to even appeal his lie. That's how they got it rigged. What about somebody adjudicating the candor and the truthfulness of the judge? They can go back and say what he adjudicated is a damn lie. What the Judge Randall Favor adjudicated is a damn lie. Dirty Tennessee crooked judge that Lisa Perlin don't want me talking about, and she can squeal like a pig. Lisa Perlin, this is for you. The Tennessee Judiciary, a lot of them are dirty thugs, criminals that violate the Constitution, and you enable them, and you're a liar too. You lied on me in a ruling that you're not responsible for because you're covered by privilege in a courtroom, but if I lied under oath, you'd put me in jail. But I'm not lying. Here, I'll do it right now. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Lisa Perlin, you're a liar. So I just did it. I mean, they think I'm afraid of them. They ought to be afraid of themselves. The ditch they're digging, they're going in. They're going in, and I'm putting them in. This is secular argument. This isn't an argument based on my faith, but I have faith. So that, and people are afraid of these people. I mean, they dig a ditch, they're so full of lies, it's easy to point out. So the judge adjudicated. I said I didn't see the car as a wreck. That's why I didn't stop. I thought it was further down the road, as anybody would say, said. And we'll tell you what show you the pictures. Hang on here, show you the pictures of the judge's lie. I mean, photographic evidence of a judge's lie, what he said and the truth. Mr. Garza, the famous attorney here in Knoxville, he gets rich off people's wrecks, and he has commercials every day, puts himself out in the public. So he's put himself out there, but he sued me in federal court, lost. Put it all over the news that I was a coward. I went down to the end of the street and hid. Yeah, Mr. Garza, I'm still here, little boy. Yeah, you hurt my family. Now, I'm a Christian. You better never try to hurt me. I got a God-given right to defend myself, Garza. You got that, boy? The truth matters, lawyer. I mean, he's a licensed lawyer. How much respect do you have for that? They live off your demise. I lived off serving God and protecting the public, carrying the sword when it was necessary. So I went down the other end of the street, pulled over when it was safe because of the general order that I was following their laws, following their rules, the general order in pursuits. According to Garza, I'm a coward, which he could have read the general orders. He knew, but he wanted to portray me as a coward. I'm not a coward. I'm not going to try to hurt you, Mr. Garza. You're a coward. Try to hurt me. And what I hold against you is how dare you hurt my little children, Garza. You're a coward. You're a coward. He's a coward. Go to Garza for a coward lawyer. That's what I think. And I think I can prove it. I didn't go down to the end of the street. You know it damn well to hide. I went down the end of the street to follow the general order according to what I was ordered to do. Following the orders. You portrayed it like a dirty lying coward that you are, which is what I think you are. You knew that. You lost your federal lawsuit. You was all in the news when it was all going out trying to build yourself up. I'm going after Charles Van Morgan and his family, the public corruption, while I was out on the road making it safe for you. You've endangered yourself, you dumb thug. So a drunk driver could hit you. You deterred the very thing that you should have promoted. You unrighteous, ungodly liar. That's Garza. Got his picture up all over Tennessee. Who does that? All over Knoxville. I mean, I'm telling you. You ought to apologize, Garza. You ought to apologize, make it right, but he won't. Yeah. Dig that ditch, Garza. You're going in it. I have every right under God. I'm a lawyer. It's not defamation. It's the truth. So if you want a good liar, lawyer, hire Garza. He lost in federal court. He was all in the news, building up his reputation for his dollar, for his money, building up his clout. I was out on the road at night, risking my life for public safety. He calls me a coward. No, Garza, you're a coward. And then the coward, here's the coward. He said I went down the road and hid, my blue lights on, following the general order. letting the camera run like I was supposed to. I wasn't hiding from anybody. The drunk was hiding from me. You're hiding from the truth, Garza. So he's all in the news, calling me a coward, representing his client. And then when he lost in court, they dismissed the case. He was nowhere around his that I could see of the person that he used to perpetrate a lie against me. So he's a coward. When they lost the case, he wasn't on camera then, didn't want to be in front of the camera on a losing case, did you, Garza? You're a coward. So you went down the road and hid, and when your case come to conclusion for relation, didn't you, Garza? So when you go get him, remember when you lose, if you do, he's a pretty damn good liar, then just remember that he's not going to be anywhere around. Where's your lawyer? He's only there to collect the paycheck that he got. Yeah, get that money. I was out defending your lives, and he calls me a coward. Yeah, go figure. Go figure. I'm not a coward at all, Garza. Sue me for defamation. I'll go and argue in Tennessee courtroom how try to move to federal court. Tennessee courts are so biased. Who's the real coward? You are. You're a coward, and you did that dirty to your own client. So here's what the judge did. The judge adjudicated that a light was on when the car was wrecked off the side of the road. He adjudicated that's a fact. You can tell very specifically here. Look at this. The lights were on when I go in pursuit. So I'm pursuing this car. You see the tail lights on. Tail lights on. See those two dots right there? Two dots. So that's what I'm pursuing when the car takes off. Lawlessly takes off. My blue light's on. He's supposed to stop. He's supposed to stop. Would you stop? Excuse me. And he's a hero. He's a hero. He's a hero because he didn't stop. His family's a hero. So I'm pursuing that car, going 79 and a 40. Turn blue lights on, try to get him stopped. That's his tail lights. So I'm pursuing those tail lights, trying to get him safely off the road so he doesn't hurt himself or anybody else the best I can. I have to slow down for a red light. He gets a good lead on me. So he gets a lead. He's a pretty good distance ahead of me. I'm trying to catch up to him. Hadn't even got a chance to get a license plate yet. If I get a license plate, I can terminate the pursuit and go to his house, try to find out who was fleeing police in a violent, dangerous way at an extremely high rate of speed, who was endangering the public. Following their general order, called the pursuit out, giving the supervisor the opportunity to know the speed of the pursuit, the road conditions. So it was a completely, there's no complete safe pursuit, but within the legal bounds at night, not a lot of traffic out. And I had every right to do that, at least try to pursue him enough to get a license plate, where after I got a license plate would have been better to end the pursuit, which I had some information on who, get some kind of clue as to who's committing this violent act so that I could stop them in the future and not continue to allow them to get by with that as safely as possible. So here's what Randall LaFavor did. Remember, the hand-picked judge. Item 5. The grievance in-car video captured the silver car crashed. The in-car video captured that. And its tail light glowing. So he wants to blow up. The car was beautifully visible. Well, it wasn't. That's not true. I was there. I know what happened. I was there with my life in danger. 4 officers got killed in 2011 in pursuits like I was. I'm a piece of meat. While he's adjudicating, sit behind a bench with officers patting people down so they can't hurt them. I was out on the road, really in real danger. And this is what these coward Tennessee Judiciary cowards do. But they're cowards. I wasn't a coward. I was out pursuing an evil, a violator, in danger where I could have been shot and killed. 4 officers in 2011 were killed doing this very same thing I was doing. So the judge, in complete safety, says that I did something wrong in the middle of the night in darkness and blaming me for the actions of a drunk, saying you should have seen him, a taillight was on. The car was visible. You did see him, the car was visible. Look, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. Judge Lefevre, item 5. This is his legal court ruling, legal court law. The grievance in-car video recorder captured the silver car crashed and its tail light glowing. Okay, you look at this. Is there a tail light on that car? You said tail light. So he says I should have seen because the tail light's on. Look, so you see these red dots right there? Look at this right here. The tail lights are glowing. Tail lights are glowing before the crash. Before the crash, they're glowing. Look at that. Before the crash. After the crash, there's no tail lights on that car. See that? See, there's no tail lights on that car. See, side by side, photographic evidence of a judicial lie. That's the car crash right there. Right there's crashed. That's what I was chasing before he crashed. That's what I was trying to get stopped, pursuing before he crashed. I can see the tail lights. So he crashes, there's no lights on. I'm looking for those tail lights way down the road. I'm not looking for a car off the road that has no tail lights on. But he puts tail light, and it's tail lights going. So he puts evidence. He puts evidence. He puts evidence that's not there. So a judge adjudicates a falsehood. A Tennessee judge puts evidence that's not there because he's a hand-picked dirty judge, hand-picked a lie. That's not all he did. So you go into a rigged Tennessee courtroom and expect to get your constitutional rights, you'll get home cooked. You won't get the Constitution. And not only is the tail not glowing, not just me saying that, it's photographic evidence. Another witness that night that heard a crash, looked out her bedroom window, couldn't see anything, just like me, couldn't see anything. I wasn't the only one who couldn't see anything. Another witness on the scene couldn't see anything. Overwhelming amount of evidence that the car wrecked. The driver wrecked the car. I didn't wreck the car. I didn't wreck any car. Didn't wreck that night. Didn't endanger anybody. He wrecked the car in a violent, dangerous manner, and the judge is backing him up. And Tracy Trotz, deacon and liar, where he's at, where his soul's at now, I don't know. I know he's answering for God for his lie that cost people their lives. Is backing up lies and putting lies on the judicial record. And everybody believes that. It's just tail light going. No, it wasn't. Look at the picture. So, not only did I not see the car, another witness on the scene didn't see the car, and they changed the report. Now, this isn't personal to me. This isn't a personal grudge, personal vendetta. I was out. This isn't a private case. I was an official officer, public officer, sworn to uphold your laws, to protect you, which is exactly what I was doing. It wasn't personal. I've never been involved in a pursuit and did anything wrong since I haven't been a police officer. They took me out of that. I'm not doing that. It is your responsibility. I was acting on your behalf. Your judges lied on me, and we need to vote them out. Subscribe to the channel. Help this movement. This isn't the civil rights movement. That's good. That happened in the past. This isn't the women's suffrage movement. That's good. That happened in the past. This is the movement to get back your rights under the Constitution. March 2026, trying to get to the governor's office in November 2026. The movement that's in real time, real live right now. I'm prosecuting the judiciary. Why you need to do this? They'll do this to you. They did, in fact, do this to you. You'll go in Tennessee courtrooms and get a lie every time. So, not only did I not see it, they didn't see it. A witness on the scene, and this is what they took off the roadway. More arrests than any trooper in the state. Life-saving arrest for drunk driving. They said I wasn't credible. And yet they give me a subpoena to testify in court after they say I'm not credible, dismiss hundreds of cases in Knox. 78 more people died the next year because I wasn't out on the road because of their judicial lie. And backing up the governor of the state of Tennessee. And here is what. Terrell Johnson, good old Terrell, lying dirty Johnson. They promote people in government power, promote judges that lie for them. if you commit perjury and lie, you'd think, and if you do, you'll go to jail. But if you commit perjury and lie for them, you get promoted. Insidious Captain Johnson. So he was a sergeant at the time. Since he lied and committed perjury, he's a perjurer. That's not defamation, that's true. Sergeant Johnson, you are a perjurer. You lied under oath. You knew you were under oath. You swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. And then you went on to lie. And it was pointed out to you, the lie, and you maintained the lie knowing it, because you knew it wouldn't matter, because you got a judge in your pocket. A judge's not going to hold you in contempt of court, or he's not going to find you guilty of perjury because the judge is on your lying side. The judge already put a lie that wasn't there. You think he's going to hold them in guilty for the consequences of their actions adjudicating against you? Hell no, they're not. They're dirty as hell. Tennessee judges are thugs, Lisa Perlin. I'll continue to say that. You're a thug for backing them up. The whole court system, for the most part, has turned rogue. This is our movement. This is our hour. This is right now. I'm not your normal politician. I'm on your side. I'm fighting for you, just like I was that night. They're fighting against you, just like they did that night. So this is Terrell Johnson. Let's show you his lie. A secular courtroom. Let's prove he's a liar. He's a liar. How you doing, Sergeant Terrell Perjurer Johnson? You're a criminal. You caused people to get killed. You got blood on your hands, you dirtbag thug. I'm out here. You want to have a little discussion with me? You little puny, sick man. You're a sick man. So is Captain Donahoe. He got promoted to a better position. And the other sergeant they had in there thought they could intimidate me. So this is what Terrell Johnson said. Now, he's a liar, state official and a liar. And here's what he said. So, he testified under oath. Sergeant Terrell Johnson testified under oath. So the fact it was on fire, that's important, right? It was, in fact, yeah, it's important. Mr. Morgan maintains consistently that the car was not on fire, did he? Yes. Did you point out the fire that you saw? Yes. Question, I read through this a lot, but I don't see that. Can you take a minute and go through there and point out on the video where the fire was? Answer, that would not be reflected in this part because now listen to this lie. Now he's trying to say that in testimony that I agreed that the car was lit up, that I should have seen it, and that I agreed in testimony that it was. But when you go through the testimony, you can't find me doing that. You can't find me doing that. So he makes up perjury, said it under oath. He makes up testimony that didn't happen. He says that I testified to stuff that's not in the record because it didn't happen. So he makes up a record that says it wasn't on the record, but it's in the record. He said it, but it's not on the record because they weren't on the record. You know, the lie, the web that dirty man weave that caused 78 more people, Sergeant Terrell Johnson. You caused 78 more people get killed. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. These government officials ought to be ashamed of themselves. Terrell Johnson, captain now, got more money for lying, stepped over your bodies to promote himself. That's THPP. That's what they do. That's how dirty these people are. Look at the deaths that they caused. So he said that. Question, Sergeant Austin. So the fact it was on fire, that's important, right? Because if it's on fire, it lifts it up. I should have seen it. It was, in fact, yes, it was important. Mr. Morgan maintains consistently the car was not on fire, didn't he? It wasn't on fire. Didn't see any fire. Neither did eyewitness on the scene. Yes. Did you point out the fire that you saw? Yes. I've read through this lot, but I don't see that. Can you take a minute and go through there and point out the video where the fire was? Answer, that would not be reflected in this part because we watched it on the video. We weren't talking, we were just looking. I was questioning him. We did make statements and we did watch the video. I did not think you will find that particular statement in the transcript. It is your testimony that Mr. Morgan says told you that he saw fire on the car when he passed by. Answer, no. I just said that he acknowledged during the interview that he did not see fire. He saw the car, dismissed it. He went past it. During the interview, he acknowledged now that he's had time to look at it and it had been brought to his attention, he sees the car is on fire. That's not what I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So, Mr. Terrell Johnson trying to light up the car. I went by it because it wasn't visible. They're trying to say, hell yeah, it's visible. You even admit it's visible. That is a false statement. Well, look at this right here. Perjury. That is a false statement by Sergeant Terrell Johnson. Van Morgan never said the car was on fire, either while passing or says later while watching the video that it was on fire. It is not on fire when he passed by. The interview which he alleges happened before the tape interview where he alleges they watched the video never happened. Never happened. He's testifying under oath in that statement. The statement that Van Morgan said he saw the car on fire on the video is also a false statement by Sergeant Johnson. Sergeant Johnson is attempting to give credibility to the false statement that the car is on fire when Van Morgan passes, saying that even Van Morgan sees fire on the video, when in fact that is a lie under oath by Sergeant Johnson. He was asked about it numerous times and still continued to lie. Judge Randall Fable said it didn't matter, but it's fraud. Misrepresenting a material fact, making the car more visible on fire when in fact it was not, according to 2 eyewitnesses, Van Morgan as he passes and the lady called 911 to report the crash. So we have the judge lying, adding evidence that wasn't there. This is Tennessee judges. While I was acting for you in official capacity, trying to get me fired by lying on me because I'm out on the road defending you. So he lies on under oath. The judge adds to the lie, puts a light on the car. That's the whole case is the visibility of the car. I drove past the car because according to their own expert witness, it was not visible in the circumstance that I was in. Perception, reaction. People aren't Superman. They're limited by what they can see and the reaction to it. When I drove past it, all I seen was the tail end of a car that looked like a parked car. Didn't see smoke, didn't see fire. Said that very clearly in the part that was recorded. He is saying falsely that where it wasn't recorded, that never happened. Of course it wasn't recorded because it never happened. Why wasn't it recorded? So he's just making up stuff. That's what they do. They make up stuff. And according to their own expert witness, it wasn't visible to me. And then he has the audacity to say that. He has the audacity to say that on that day we were interviewing is that would talk about what he did, how he followed procedure, and how he cleared the intersection, how he sat in his calm manner as both viewed the videotape. We didn't view the videotape, but then when he gets that 2 seconds of video, then all of a sudden forgets or he loses track of what happens. That's what he says under oath. He's saying that under oath. He says that. But then when he gets to that 2 seconds of video, then all of a sudden forgets or loses track of what happens. So to me as an investigator, that leads me to believe that he was trying to avoid a conversation or that testimony as being kind of deceptive. Question, you say you presented the facts that you find to the command staff. Yes. Never sat down and watched the video with him. So he says I sat in a calm manner, and he says that when I got to the 2 seconds where I passed the car in the dark, that I lose track, that I forget what happened. When in fact, that's a lie. My testimony under oath was telling him exactly what happened during those 2 seconds. So he's lying. He said I forget. I didn't never say anything about forgetting. So he's a liar. He's a liar, a perjurer. Mr. Johnson's ass ought to be in bars. I don't care what color he is. He's a dirty liar. Mr. Tracy Trott's ass should have been in jail. Now he's dead. And quite frankly, what hypocrisy being a deacon of a church. Not that churches are bad. God didn't do that. Tracy Trott's did. So what I said, well, he said, you heard on the record, he testified under oath. He loses track of what happened during that 2 seconds, forgets what happened. Talk about other stuff, don't talk about that 2 seconds. I talked very clearly, very specifically about those 2 seconds. So how does that go together? I'll tell you what goes together. He's a dirty liar. Product of the dirty court system. Going to Tennessee courtroom, that's what you get. You get dirty lies. So here's what I said during that 2 seconds. I said this very clearly. I said, the reason why I didn't stop is because I didn't see it wrecked. I did see the car out of the corner of my eye,
but I dismissed it as not being the car because it didn't look like a wreck. The reason why I dismissed it was because the car was way off the road and it looked like a parked car. I'm looking for taillights as I pass it. I see something out of the corner of my eye, that car, and I think it didn't go through my mind as that is it. And I answered, got it at 80 miles an hour, was not that it was not. I continued looking for taillights, so I did not see that, the wreck. And I did not think that it was the car that wrecked, and I dismissed it. It was way off the road, it was dark. It wasn't overturned. I didn't see any fire, I didn't see anything so I didn't think that it was. I do not know exactly how fast I was going. I knew it was 80. So I didn't panic, looked for taillights, saw the road, and if construed slowing down is trying to be, thinking that I saw it or something, that's not the case. I was going through a decision process, dismiss it as not looking for taillights. I'm just telling you the way it is. So he says, look at this. This is his testimony under oath. That 2 seconds video, then all of a sudden, forgets or loses track of what happens. I didn't say I forgot or lost track. I was told specifically, I'm looking for taillights. I saw something out of the corner of my eye, that car, and I think it didn't go through my mind that it was it. The answer I got is I did not see the wreck. I did not think it was the car that wrecked, and I dismissed it. It was way off the road. It's dark. Thought that's not it. It wasn't overturned. I didn't see any fire. So he's saying that I lost track. I'm telling him specifically what was going on in that 2 seconds. I wasn't losing track. I was telling him my thinking process. Obviously, I see the tail end of it. It's way off the road. It doesn't look wrecked. I see just the tail end. There's no damage on the tail end of that car that I seen. There's no taillight on like the judge lied. But he lies under oath saying I lost track. No, he's losing track of his dirty lies. And that's what the state of Tennessee court system do. That's dirty Terrell Earl Johnson, captain in THPP. What a dirty lying bunch. That caused Tennesseans to get dead on Tennessee roadway. How can they do these atrocities? Because the Tennessee Highway Patrol was at that time controlled by Bill Goober. Look at the beautiful view. Bill Goober, who his wife is an appeals court judge, so they know they got the judgeship in their pocket. And the judge backed up his lie. Let him lie under oath. Very clearly pointed out, you all didn't have a meeting. I wrote it down on a piece of paper while Sergeant Johnson was testifying that lie. You can write down on a piece of paper when you're in the courtroom, hey, that witness is lying about me. Here's how you can, that's not what, they're lying under oath. Write that down to your attorney. Your attorney can send up, Your Honor, I object. Or when you're questioning him, and the judge will back up the lie. That's Tennessee courtroom. The judge will back up the lie. This literally happened. Now there's a man that was running in the last gubernatorial election that claimed to be an unlicensed attorney, and he was angry at the judiciary. And I'm not angry at the judiciary. This is water under the bridge. This is what they do today against you. I'm fighting for you. He was angry at the judiciary because he got an adverse ruling in a divorce case. They say I'm bitter. I'm not bitter. I didn't get an adverse ruling in a divorce case. He got more votes than me because the establishment didn't criticize him because he wasn't a real threat to them. He said he was an unlicensed attorney, never went to law school, never passed any bar, because he had filed lawsuits against the government. And a bailiff told him that his legal papers look better than some attorneys, so he claims to be an unlicensed attorney. Got more votes than me in the governor's race because he claimed to be a constitutional Republican, which he was running as independent. Claimed to be a lawyer. This dispels some of these lies and tell you about the truth. And he got more votes than me, which he didn't have any chance of winning. But I'm telling you, this is not a personal vendetta, personal issue. This is an issue while I was acting on your behalf, lowering people's opportunity killed on the road, literally, And he was involved in a divorce. So don't believe the hyperbole, the lies that they're telling you. I really went to law school, really passed 2 bar exams, really know the law, and this isn't about a divorce case or any family matter. I didn't have any family matters until I started running for government office. And then people in political parties started trying to gang up on me because I'm a real threat to them because I have real knowledge. So here is where we attacked Sergeant Terrell Johnson for lying. Court, so why are you hammering this witness about whether your client saw the video or not, Mr. Parks? Because this witness said they sat down together and watched the video. Court, that's right, that's what he said. Now take that and move on. Is your client going to say that didn't happen? Absolutely. But court, hold on. Mr. Morgan, are you saying you didn't sit down with the officer, with this sergeant, and view the video with him? Mr. Morgan, that day it was conducted, I did not sit down with him and review the video. No, sir, I did not. Not that day or any day. Court, all right, we've got 2 conflicting testimonies from 2 different witnesses, so move on. I'll make a decision about who's telling the truth. Mr. Parks, the interview was 2 hours long, right? Okay. So, interview of Trooper Morgan, December 4, 2011, page 1, Johnson. Today's December the 14th, 2011, approximately 12:04. I'm Sergeant Terrell Johnson with the Internal Investigation Unit. We're in Cooper Hall conference room. In the room where we have Trooper Van Morgan. Is that correct, man? Yes, sir. Johnson, okay, we're going to go do is I'll briefly explain to you today. We're here just to discuss the pursuit that you were involved in on November 26th, the early morning hours of 2011. Before we get started, though, what we need to do is we have to give your admonition of rights in its form. It's self-explanatory. I ask you to read over it. If you have any questions concerning what it means or any options, we'll be glad to answer. Morgan, I'm willing to make statements and answer questions this time. Okay, you said you watched the video. Okay. Now, this is the start of the interview. The start of the interview. And there's nothing in here about me watching him. The start of the interview, December 14th, 12/14 at 12:06 p.m. to the end, December 14th, 2014 it was it was 2011 at 3:38. The entire interrogation I had with Sergeant Johnson. The video not watched on that day with Sergeant Johnson or any time with Sergeant Johnson. Mr. Johnson perjured himself under oath clearly about me and him watching the video and about me saying I saw fire on the car. It affected the outcome of the litigation because the administrative law judge said the car could have possibly been on fire. The car, based on the evidence, the video, me as an eyewitness and another eyewitness, was in fact not on fire. This is material fact because they are attempting to light up the car and make it appear easily visible. It was not. So he's lying under oath. Lying under oath. And the judge allows him to lie under oath. And even another witness on the scene, I'll show you, with the report changed, allowed him to lie under oath. Because the commissioner who was bringing this case against me was related to a federal court judge. You can have your whole department and you can yourself lie under oath because of the bloodline. Federal court judge. The Judge LaFavor knew who his wife was, who the liar's wife was, the main liar's wife was, federal court judge. So if we get sued in federal court and go against her husband, she'll rule against us. So let's rule for the federal court judge's husband and his lie. It's all in the family. It's all in the family. Look at the judges, how many people are promoted based on who a judge is, not based on the law. So they got this through a federal courtroom because he was bringing the case against me. Said I was a liar when he's a liar. How can you lie and call somebody that's honest out on the road protecting you a liar and get that through a judge? The judge say, no, wait a minute now. You need to be very careful about your testimony because I'll find you in contempt of court and put you in jail for perjury.
That's what he should have done to him. They didn't do that to him. Why not? Because he can lie all he wants to. He can lie against you. They can lie. There's no boundaries because the judge is in their pocket. That's his wife. So if you're in Tennessee and you know, hey, I'm a judge, I'll rule in his favor, but he's lying. He's endangering society. Tennessee Department of Safety, Tennessee Department of Public Danger, Tennessee Department of Lies, Tennessee Department put 2,500 people in jail unlawfully, 0-0 on the bloodstream, and backing that up, saying that they had indicators anyway. Why do they do that? They got family members in the judiciary. If a judge rules against them, he won't be promoted. The judge will be sanctioned. Anytime the Department of Safety goes in front of a federal judge, they're going to win, probably, because you don't have to scream, my wife's a federal judge, I can lie if I want to. You shut up, rule in my favor, we'll get you. You don't have to say that. They know that. I got power in my pocket. My wife on the judiciary. Grin. We'll do what the hell we want to do. Yeah, you will once you did, didn't you? And you step over bodies and you dig a ditch that you're going in, and I'm doing God's will, helping to put you in it, you dirty lying thug. That's who you are. You cause people to get killed. Tennessee Department of Safety. Now we got Jeff Long and the situation's corrected. You believe that? Standing hand in hand with Colonel Matt Perry that just lied in front of the whole world about 2,500 people. There were indicators. None has made it to me. Well, maybe you need to get down where the people are, you lying dirtbag Matt Perry. This is for you. It's not for them. This is for you. And we got a governor now who says opposing injustice wherever we find it. That's what he said, not me. What about this injustice, Christian Governor Lee? What about the injustice of the colonel of the highway patrol that you promoted, a deacon of a church that lied under oath? What about that, Governor? You're a Christian man. What are you doing? You know what? I don't need your help, Governor. We don't need his help. We don't need him to cover justice because God, we pray to God, and God will uncover his injustice. He needs to recognize the injustice for his own sake, for his own benefit. We're not losing. We're not coming from behind. They are. They're carrying a lie. The government in the state of Tennessee is carrying a dirty lie. It's not in my benefit to get them to succumb to my will, to get them to bow. It's in, and that's not what I'm trying to do. It's in their best interest to correct the wrong that they're doing because there's a real God under what they think is Christian that will adjudicate them. They think we're above that. I'm looking around, Governor Bill Lee. I don't see God striking me with lightning to say that you don't uncover injustice. You promote it, and you have, and I don't care what you do. I don't need you to apologize to me or make things right. I don't need that. You do. You do, Governor. You're sitting on your power now, and you think, it's harder for a rich man to get saved than to go through the camel's eye of a needle. You think that you got all the power in the world. No, you don't. You ain't got anything but a stack of lies, a house of cards. I'm tearing it down. I don't need you to apologize to me. I need you to apologize and correct injustice for your own sake. It's not going to hurt me if you don't. God's got me. God's got Tennesseans. Hopefully we can win this election. I'm not begging you for anything. I'm asking you out of love and concern for you. I love my enemies. You don't love me. You claim you do. If you did, you would correct injustices. If I've done anything wrong to you, let me know and I'll look into it and try to change it. You know I've told you through people that know you, and you continue to facilitate lies and wrong and think that your power's going to uphold that and profess to be a Christian. Wow. Amazing. I don't see God. You literally think that God's going to judge me for speaking the truth against you? I don't think you hold any control over the truth or God Almighty. For your own sake, Governor, correct the wrong. It's not going to affect me. I'm asking you out of love and concern for yourself to correct the wrong, correct injustice. Thousands of people died. Thousands more are going to die because you don't impose injustice. You facilitate it and have facilitated by your promotion of people who lied and promotion of judges who lie and cause injustice to Tennesseans.
Who does that running for office? And I don't need you to apologize to me. I'm asking you to do it for yourself. Standing firm in principles even when it's unpopular. I'd say I'm the one doing that. You know, loving our neighbors more than ourselves. I'm doing that. He's not. Because I'm telling him to apologize for himself. I don't need his apology. I don't need his correction. You do for your safety. I don't. Opposing injustice wherever we find it. He's promoting injustice. Hey, Governor, injustice. Oppose it. You did it against me. Even you did. He's not going to do that. I don't need his help. I need him to do that for himself. Standing firm in our principles even when it's unpopular. It's unpopular what I'm saying a lot in Knoxville. I'm hoping to make it popular to open people's eyes up about what they're doing to you in this crooked state of Tennessee. 2010, this is the fatality rate going down. They took me off the road by lying on me. More people were killed in 2012. Directly the year later, 78 more people. Injustice, Governor, in a church saying that. Injustice, where you at? This isn't spiritual stuff. This is secular, unlicensed attorney arguing against prosecuting you. He ought to go to jail for his injustices. And nearly 400 PPP loans totaling more than 48.8 million were given to Davidson County law firms. And they're getting welfare, and he's starving children. Not allowing the EBT program for kids during the summer this year. Ongoing injustice. Ongoing injustice. And let me show you where they are lying and changing police reports about changing police reports on that same incident where they took my job away from me, took me away from you, protecting you. So I'm just protecting you in a different manner, standing up against injustice. So we got some more facts, some more evidence, not spiritual stuff, secular, legal stuff. I'm trained, I know what I'm doing. We're talking about facts and evidence. Now they made up facts. I just showed you where they're not true. This isn't made up facts. This is the truth. This is their police report. That they lied on a police report about that incident. I've just showed you several lies. They lied because the judge would allow it. The judge is a liar. The judge allowed perjury, backed up perjury, added more lies. Police reports about that night were written that were lies. They'll do that to you. It's not about me. I was serving you when they did that. It's not about a divorce. It's about me out on the road in harm's way serving you. And they lied about it. If they lie about a state trooper in harm's way, risking his life, doing every single thing right, according to their own expert witness, that they go to defame because they're backing up the truth, what will they do to you? They're doing it every day in Tennessee courtrooms in every way. So here's a police report, facts. Their report. There's a sheriff's race going on right now. This affects you in Knox County. This is ongoing. This is a Knox County Sheriff's deputy now that lied in a police report. He is now on the warrants division that wrote a report saying that I did something wrong that changed the facts. He's now in the warrants department. The warrants department killed a man recently about 5 miles from my house without video camera, writing a report saying it was justified. Not him writing the report, but he's on the warrants department. I know members of the warrants department lie. Now listen to this very closely. It's not defamation. It's true. I can prove it. This is facts, evidence. I'm a trained, unlicensed lawyer because I'm a truthful one. This is evidence presenting my case about the Judiciary, presenting my case about the Knox County Sheriff's Department and the evidence that they presented. This is about life and death. Listen very closely. It's important stuff. You won't hear this anywhere else. Unbridled news. Black Subscribe to the to the channel, support it, fund it if you can. Vote for us as we're running for governor. This is facts. I'm prosecuting the judges in Tennessee. Who does that? Charles Van Morgan, your line's not on the line. Your life's not on the line in our courtroom, but in the governor's office, theirs will be. So Joe Walker is a Knox County Sheriff's deputy, who is a Knox County Sheriff's deputy and a liar. And they killed somebody from the warrants department. Dead. And he lies in reports. Members of the warrants department lie. The sheriff's department race is ongoing right now. This is important. Ask the sheriff if he'll clean up the liars in the sheriff's department. Joe Walker. Interview of 911 caller. Trooper Van Morgan report narrative, second paragraph. So, when I drove past that wreck, did everything right, supervisor came out to the scene, lied on me. Got their expert to testify I did nothing wrong, because I didn't. He had no stake in it, presented the truth. His stake was to back up the department so he could continue getting paid to train. He was going against them because he's going for the truth. Bruce Siddle tried to soften the blow, saying they were good people. They weren't. He thought they were. They weren't, but he testified I did nothing wrong. Nothing in that video showed I did anything wrong. In fact, I did everything as expected, that humanly possible to do. So, Joe Walker, somebody called 911. And he's now worked for the sheriff's department in Knox County, one that killed somebody out of the same department that he works for. They said that they did appropriately everything. I say that they got members in the warrants department that lied in the past. So somebody called 911 that night that wreck happened because they heard a loud crash. They didn't call anything in because they seen a crash. They called it in excuse me, because they heard a crash, different from seeing a crash. So they heard a loud crash. They were awake at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine that. God put a witness for me at 3:30 in the morning. Heard a crash. And they thought someone had hit a concrete barrier going down Andersonville Pike. What they didn't know is they'd hit a tree. And she heard sirens, heard my sirens. And she called 911 because she heard a crash. So she's going to report a crash that she heard, not seen. She looked out her bedroom window, and this is what she said. She looked out her bedroom window, and Sergeant Johnson went and talked to her that very same day because she called 911 about the crash, reporting. So he wanted to know what she said about the crash. So he shows up at her house, knocks on the door. That same day that it happened, recorded the conversation. And here's what she said. She said, recording of 911 caller, Darling. This is Sergeant Joe Walker, Tennessee Highway Patrol Criminal Investigation Division. It's Saturday, the 26th of November at 9:33 a.m. It's 2000. I'm talking with Miss Shirley Darling about a crash in Knox County at Andersonville Pike, near Hill Road. Shirley, you understand why I'm here taping the conversation? Darling, yes, Walker. How did you come to find out about the crash? Darling, I heard a loud noise and I thought a car had maybe come down Hill Road and ran into one of the brick columns out here. And I looked out my bedroom window and I thought I couldn't see anything. It was dark. I couldn't see anything. It was dark. I'm out. I couldn't see anything. It was dark also. And then I saw a light colored. It must have been something like a van or something like that. Darling, I don't know. Can't figure it out. It wasn't burning. But I saw somebody and I thought, well, maybe the fire inaudible. Because it wasn't burning before that. So Sergeant Johnson already said it was burning. So you just heard a loud bang, darling. That's primarily what I heard. Okay, Walker. and darling, I don't know. It was a real loud sounding crash. I don't know whether it would have woke me up or not, because my bedroom is right there next to Anderson Pike. So she's right there on the scene. Walker, okay, that works, yeah. Just a loud crash. You looked out your window. Did you see the car when you originally looked out? Darling, no. Did you see the car when you originally looked out? Darling, no. Wow, I didn't see it either. I didn't. I couldn't. I didn't. I couldn't either. I did not see the car until I told Royal Metro, the people, that, oh, I saw it on fire. Walker, oh, so it caught on fire after that. Were you continually looking out the window to see if you could see it, and then all of a sudden you saw it? Darling, yes, all of a sudden I saw it. It burst into flames. So here's what he wrote in his testimony. He changed the police report and now he's in the warrants department. They've killed somebody. Joe Walker, interview of 911 caller, Trooper Van Morgan, report narrative, second paragraph. Miss Darling stated, this is Joe Walker's report. Miss Darling stated she heard a loud crash, looked out her bedroom window and saw a vehicle hit a tree. That's not what she said. She said, I heard a loud noise. I thought a car maybe come down Hill Road and Brick Columns. I looked out my bedroom window and then I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything. But he says, a loud crash, looked out her bedroom window and saw a vehicle hit a tree. That's not what she said. She said she looked out her bedroom window and didn't see anything. A whopping difference, because they want to say it was easily visible. She looked out her window and saw a car hit a tree. So he's lying. That's a false report. He's in the warrants department, the Knox County Sheriff's Department now. They wrote a false report on me. That's false, according to documented eyewitness testimony recorded. And now they've killed somebody 6 miles from my house. And I don't know if it's justified or not. I know he's in the warrants department. The warrants department served a warrant. Somebody's dead. They say it was justified. They said that she looked out her bedroom window and saw a car hit a tree. She did. I'm asking the sheriff's race, are you going to continue to let a liar in the warrants department have authority even when they kill somebody? So here's the narrative. Here's what she said. Let's underline this. This is important. I looked out my bedroom window and that I couldn't see anything. It was dark. Here's what he said. Joe Walker, Miss Darling stated she looked out her bedroom window and saw a vehicle had hit a tree. But that, she said, I couldn't see anything. She didn't see a vehicle hit a tree until later. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I saw it, and it wasn't burning. So she is not saying that she looked out her bedroom window and saw a car hit a tree. She looked out her bedroom window and couldn't see anything. He don't want to say she couldn't see anything because he don't want to say that Van Morgan couldn't see anything. Anyway, the car was visible, so he changes a police report to make it go along with their false narrative that the car was highly visible. The car's visible. Van seen it. The witness seen it. She looked out her bedroom window, seen a car hit a tree, but she says very clearly, I looked out my bedroom window and it was dark. I couldn't see anything. Charles Van Morgan drove past it. It was dark. He didn't see any signs of a wreck. He saw the tail end of the car. So he's in the warrants department, Knox County Sheriff's Department now. This is serious. They killed somebody 6 miles from my house. They say it's justified. I say that he works for the warrants department. The warrants department says it was justified. He's a liar in the warrants department. Look very clearly. So is the warrants department in Knox County that taints the warrants department lying about what happened in that incident? killing an innocent person, when I know they're lying in this. Sheer logic. If you know the answer to a question, but the other side doesn't know you know the answer, and you ask them that question. I know that she looked out her bedroom window from her own statement and didn't see anything. Did not see anything at all. Looked out from her bedroom window, I couldn't see anything. Until sometime later she saw something. Of course, that was after I already passed. But initially she says the same thing that I saw. I didn't see anything look like a ray. I didn't see anything. Looked out her bedroom window. So we know the answer to that question. So we asked Sergeant Joe Walker, did Miss Darling look out her window and see a car had hit a tree immediately? And yes, she looked out her bedroom and seen a car hit a tree. So we know he's lying. He's a liar. By default, logic. So if he's in the warrants department, right now in the warrants department, that has killed somebody, we already know they lie from the warrants department. You ask him, was that killing, shooting on Sevierville Road justified? Did your officers do anything wrong in the warrants department? I said, no, we didn't do anything wrong. Okay, we already know they lied. Joe Walker's in that warrants department. The warrants department has an officer in that department that lies. So do we automatically believe what they're saying after we know they lied? We don't know if they're telling the truth or not. Ask the sheriff's department if they're going to continue to have liars in their department that are in departments that kill people. Knox County's life's a little in danger. You think I'm joking? Wait till they kill one of your family members and it's personal, and then they tell you what happened, but you know they've lied in the past. Lied about me when I was working for you. I'm telling the truth about them. Facts speak for yourself. Ray ipsa loquitur, the thing speaks for itself. A lie under oath. Now, he can't deny that he knows that he just misstated, didn't make it clear, that when she looked out her bedroom window and knew that she didn't see the car, because he specifically asked her. So he's not just unaware, he just misstated. He knows because he asked her that question. Because he said specifically, and then he goes on to lie later. So he asked the question. Here's the question he asked. I'll show you how he knows he's lying. He knows he's a liar. Darling, I don't know. It was real loud saying crash. I don't know whether it would have woke me up. So she's already awake. No, because my bedroom was right next to Anderson Pike. Okay, that works. Yeah, this is Walker. Just a loud crash. You looked out your window. Did you see the car when you originally looked out? He asked her that question. No, I didn't. I couldn't. I did not see the car until I told Royal Metro. I said, oh, it's on fire. It caught later. So it caught fire after that. Were you continually looking out the window to see if you could see it, and then all of a sudden you saw it? Yes, all of a sudden it burst into flames. So no, I didn't. I couldn't. And then over here, Joe Walker on the warrants department killed somebody the other day. Miss Starling stated she heard a loud crash and looked out her bedroom window and saw a vehicle hit a tree. He says saw a vehicle hit a tree. Did you see the car when you originally looked out? Looked out the bedroom window and saw a vehicle hit a tree. So he's saying she looked out and originally saw it that hit a tree. No, I didn't. I couldn't. So he's lying. He's lying in a police report. Lying. He's a liar. Joe Walker, a Warrants Department, Knox County Sheriff's deputy, and a liar, and they've killed somebody. We know he lied. Right here it is, black and white. Argue with the facts. Argue with the testimony. He said in his police report, Exhibit 25002, in order to defraud the public, he said that she looked out her bedroom window and saw a car had hit a tree. That's what he said in his testimony. Changing her testimony. Do they change testimony in killings of police? I don't know. When the whole thing is about, I didn't see it, she didn't see it. So I got another person on the scene that said she's right there next to Andersonville Pike. And then in her testimony, he says, she looked out her bedroom window and saw a car hit a tree. When he specifically asked her that, Did you originally see it when you looked out? And then he goes on to act like she originally seen it when she went out. A complete total lie. That's how they do. They lie under oath. The Tennessee Judiciary, how much they lie on you. So thank you all. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. And that's our first weapon in this fight for right against the state government in crooked Tennessee. And I'm on the governor's ballot. I ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Support the movement. And also, we'll try to be back on here Monday. If news, maybe not, I don't know. Hopefully. And also, we're on the governor's ballot. We're fighting them in courtrooms, legally, legitimately, not filing frivolous lawsuits. We are on this channel, fighting them in the public opinion, trying to defend you. In this courtroom, they're the defendants on trial. Your life is not on the line like they would have you to. And that's just a few of the black and white lies of the corrupt Tennessee Judiciary. If there is news coming up this weekend that we can get to, we'll be live on the scene and show it to you. We appreciate your viewing the channel. We'd appreciate if you would share it. Subscribe to the channel. This is live. It won't show up on your page if you don't subscribe to it normally. So if you subscribe, at least you'll have the opportunity to know that we are live streaming so you can watch. We've got documents, more proof about the dirty judiciary in Tennessee, some stuff that will blow your mind into reality. We ask that you share the message, ask other people to support the movement, watch the channel, vote for us, Charles Van Morgan. We're on the ballot. We got our name in the hat, fighting for you. You won't hear this anywhere else. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News, candidate, litigator, not for myself. This is for you. This is my calling. This is my forte. I know what I'm doing. We can win this battle through persistence and determination, and through legally contesting the corruption, through attrition, which is continuing fighting, not listening to their scoreboard. Their scoreboard's not correct. It's not right. I don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to it either. Every person we contact, every step we move forward, every election has been a step in the right direction to peacefully annihilate people in government power so that the government can serve you. You won't hear this anywhere else. Like and share. A real candidate, really for you, really fighting a real battle of attrition and nonviolence voting. So thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, fund the channel if you can. Help us get the message out. Help us run for public office. May God bless you all, pray, and as I always say, and we'll be back on here bashing the judiciary again probably Monday, continuing to provide documents. And as I always say, God loves you, and I do too. Until next time, thank you very much.